playing D&D. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral disorder. You may call me obsessive, but I just border on being a collector and being a dragon that sits atop my treasure. That's so shiny. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral disorder, and my partners love me for it. I'm a natural 20 when it comes to being me. I'm a time traveler, so Alonzi. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral disorder, and proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral disorder, and proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral disorder, I'm proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral disorder, I'm proud to be. In whatever sitch, like singing on Twitch or playing D&D. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral disorder. You may call me obsessive, but I just border on being a collector and being a dragon that sits atop my treasure. That's so shiny. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral disorder, and my partners love me for it. I'm a natural 20 when it comes to being me. I'm a time traveler, so Alonzi. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral disorder, and proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral disorder, and proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral disorder, I'm proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral disorder, I'm proud to be. In whatever sitch, like singing on Twitch or playing D&D. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral disorder. You may call me obsessive, but I just border on being a collector and being a dragon that sits atop my treasure. That's so shiny. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral disorder, and my partners love me for it. I'm a natural 20 when it comes to being me. I'm a time traveler, so Alonzi.
Hey! All right, we're live. Hi, everybody. Hopefully you can hear. I tried to update my sounds, but okay, good. So welcome to the very first episode of what will be Higurashi no Naku, or Higurashi when they cry, which are Higurashi or Japanese cicadas, which you are hearing right now, most probably, hopefully, if everything is going correctly on sound. So yeah, I am here with my friends David and Kayla, as usual.
Hi, I'm Kayla.
And I'm David.
Together
and
they
Flint
are
hates
Kayla.
this joke. And Flint hates this joke, so it will never die.
Never die.
Sigh. Oh, anyway, so for those of you who don't know, who might be just coming in and not sure what Higurashi is, it is a purely sound novel. So basically, we're going through a story. There's very little gameplay besides clicking on things, and we're going to basically voice act characters in the story and figure, as we go along, try to figure out what the fuck is going on in this little town. warning, like, there are no spoilers for this game, but warning that there are triggers for violence and sort of disturbing imagery and maybe some gore. I don't quite know how far they get along in it in the actual, like, visual parts of this, but there will be talk of terrible things happening to kids. So, if that worries any of you, if you don't watch Doki Doki Literature Club, it's the same sort of situation. Feel free to step away. I totally understand. We understand. If not, let's give this a fucking shot, shall we?
Yeah, let's do
Let me
this.
switch. Give it a start. Guess I'll do intro stuff here, and then we'll work when we get to the actual stuff where I have to start clicking. We'll figure out how to go.
Difficulty is extremely high. Oh, that bodes well for us.
Oh, God.
Which is
Pro
weird.
gamers
There's
that
no
we are.
gameplay. There is no gameplay. It's a novel.
How is it
I guess the difficulty is kind of like reading a Sherlock Holmes novel, like trying to figure out what the answer to the mystery is before Sherlock Holmes, I guess.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. That's about all I can think. Hey, Phoebe. Oh. Who's literally like less than 15 feet from me right now. Doing a dance.
Talks in person, come on. Oh, text only.
Text only. Are there lots of bad ends? There's no, I mean, I guess there's probably bad ends in every single arc of this story for the most part. But let's give it a shot.
Oh, God.
That's a good start.
Did it just creepily laugh?
Please do not lament. I'll forgive you even if the world will not forgive you. Please do not lament. I will forgive you even if you will not forgive the world. So please tell me, what will it take for you to forgive me? Frederica Berncastle. All that text, I don't know what it means.
Yeah, what the hell was that?
Hey, Commander Roger. Work of fiction! Work of fiction! AD 1983. Oh, early summer of the 50th year of the Showa era. 1983.
What's that noise it keeps making?
Sounds like a slap to
Sounds
the
like
face.
people being destroyed. If I was going to be ripped apart anyways, having my body ripped apart would have been far better. I trusted her. No, I still trust her. Even in this very moment, I trust her. But I'm starting to realize I only wanted to trust her because I refused to accept the truth. It was as if I was trying to convince myself in such a silly, sobbing voice, and those tears making a mess of my face. That mechanical, repetitious sound finally stilled, and everything fell silent. It's a dog barking and then lying down. That's exactly what it is. Only the loud cry of the cicadas remained, knowingly loud, and yet I felt as if I could still hear her voice. But that's not possible. She is no longer speaking.
Dun, dun, dun.
The only one crying is me. She never cried. Even when she repeated those words over and over, she never expressed any emotion because there were none to show. If she had no tears to shed for me, then I shouldn't need to shed any for her. Then why this pain, my eyes getting moist? Why was this happening? I still wanted to believe I hadn't been split apart. That's enough, right? Inside me, an inner voice whispered gently. My spirit had suffered enough. And countless times I'd wavered over whether I should just throw the battered thing away.
Hello, motherfucker.
Except I've stubbornly refused to do that, haven't I? Hey, Tommy. I'd feel better if I just threw it away. Even knowing that, I choose to believe, didn't I? Only I can understand that painful struggle and appreciate it. Hey, me? I've tried more than enough. I'll acknowledge that much. So, isn't it all right to just take the easy way out? Besides, I'm not throwing it away. I'm leaving it behind with her. like flowers by a grave. Now then, calm your nerves, even though you can't feel your right arm. Just lift it up, and with every swing, forget a little more. That kindness made me happy. That adorable smile brought me joy. I liked petting your head. I loved how demure you were. Because this will be the last time. Because when I swing this down, I'll forget. This is my first and last bouquet for you. Perhaps I really did love you. Well,
So confused right now.
Okay, well that's a start.
now we get to start for a bit. I think we're starting with Keiichi, the main guy here. I think
that
this.
makes
I want to hear this from his perspective. You want Keiichi, David?
Sure.
Alright. Go for it.
Somebody has been apologizing for a while now.
Oh, let me turn you up actually, because this background noise is. Whoops. Let me.
I guess I'll also move closer to the microphone.
That'll probably help. I should probably, let me see. Get the menu, config the background sounds a bit. Sound volume. That. And then turn up David a bit.
Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da.
Cool. Hopefully that's okay. A bit better for people on stream, or on chat. But if anyone sounds too low or too high in comparison, just let me know. I will change things. Thank you. Okay, go for it.
Somebody has been apologizing for a while now. I wonder what she's apologizing for. Felt wrong to eavesdrop, so I tried to ignore it. It had been a while since I'd last went to the city. I only returned to attend the funeral of a relative. Even though I'd lived there until last month, I found the bustle of the city to be overwhelming. Those skyscrapers and the multi-lane roads, the melodious cacophony of the crosswalk. Even the campaign speeches blaring in front of the station felt nostalgic. The place where I live now isn't nearly as lively. There's only the chirping of locusts and the babbling of brooks. And the cry of the Higurashi, the evening cicadas. Rather than making me feel lonely, that quietness had begun to instill a sense of serenity. There is nothing where I'm living now. I don't just mean that there aren't any burger joints, there aren't even vending machines. No music stores, no restaurants, and no arcades.
Fuck, this sounds like where I came from before we moved
Sounds
here.
a very sad, depressing place.
Even an ice cream parlor would be unlikely. The nearest town has some stuff like that, but it's an hour away by bike.
Fuck.
Come to think of it, it wasn't really a big deal. There were music stores and arcades and ice cream parlors. It wasn't like I ever hung out at any of them.
That's fair. Oh, also for anyone who's curious, I can't change the ratio on this because it's an older game. It's only in like 1020 by 768. So it's like
ancient.
Like, yeah, 2002, I believe.
Oh,
So
goodness.
yeah,
That is
so
ancient.
sorry, I didn't have time to make an overlay specifically for it yet.
It's almost as old as Kayla.
I'm a few years older than that, thank you very much.
That's why I said almost. I'd lived in the city for 10 years and never once been to an ice cream parlor. I should have gone at least once. It's only now that I'm starting to regret that a little.
I regret the cold
Ice
stone.
cream parlor.
Yeah.
Like, how? It's ice cream.
Somebody is still apologizing. Who's she apologizing to? She's apologized so much, so just forgive her already. There's no reason anyone should ever need to apologize so much. Started to feel a little annoyed at whoever was refusing to forgive her. No matter how bad the mistake, there's nothing that can't be forgiven. I don't know a lot about this game, but I feel like that's going to be tested during it.
Maybe.
Likely, yes.
Given what I do know about this game, there's no such thing as an irreparable mistake. You just need to be more careful next time. She's still apologizing, even now. Then, has she really done something that can't be fixed? I have no idea what she's done, but if it can't be fixed, then that's all the more reason to forgive her. No matter how much she apologizes, nothing will change. But even so, she keeps apologizing in such a heartbreaking voice. Hey, you. The one she's apologizing to. Why don't you just go ahead and forgive her? She's apologizing in such a pathetic voice.
Keiichi, we're almost there. Wake up.
I was finally roused from my nap by my father's prodding. It seemed the train had reached its final stop. We had spent hours riding everything from the bullet train to the local routes. It's hard to believe that the landscape beyond the window and the city I was in half a day ago were in the same country. No, that they were even from the same era. From there, we'd take a car deeper into the mountains.
Ooh.
Time lapsing. Past where the dense forest encroaching on the mountain road suddenly opened up.
Hinamizawa.
There, where I live now, Hinamizawa. Hey, we got the title screen.
Woohoo!
Hey.
When they cry.
Even though we were approaching summer, the morning air still had a frigid bite. Although, in exchange, you could fill your lungs up with crisp, clean air. Flipping open the window, I was greeted with a verdant expanse. Nothing but trees. The neighboring house was far away on the other side. I was probably the only one enjoying that view and that air. I filled my lungs with another deep breath.
I cannot do that right now because it smells like burnt plastic over by my computer.
Yeah.
Since I started living in Hinamizawa, I learned that even air had its own taste. Yeah, bitch. The air tastes different when you go to different places. That's like facts.
The more you know.
I quickly finished getting ready for school and headed downstairs for breakfast. My mother was the only one there. My father was nowhere to be seen. He was probably up working until the early morning. mood.
Hmm.
Dad had a rather unconventional job as a painter.
Ooh.
Such a laid-back profession.
Ah, yes. Happy little accidents, right, Tommy?
Bob Ross dad. Okay, let's
Okay, headcanon. Bob Ross is Keiichi's dad.
Does his dad ever show up in the... You've played this game, right, Flynn?
I have not played this game.
Oh, I thought you had.
No.
Okay.
I've seen the
Well,
series. I have not
hopefully,
played the game.
Hopefully Bob Ross dad shows up at some point.
Hmm.
Get up when you want, sleep when you want, and work when you want.
Sounds like heaven.
I was so jealous of that easygoing lifestyle. I even wrote for school that I wanted to be a painter when I grew up. Dad was ecstatic about that. It's just because it looked easy. I'd never tell them that, though. Mom laid breakfast out on the table. Seaweed, pickled vegetables, raw egg, and grilled salmon. My mom was such a good cook, it was scary. A perfect, immaculate, ideal breakfast.
Yes, totally canon now.
Unlike my dad, who didn't even know the meaning of the word schedule, my mom never squandered any time or effort. She hummed a little tune as she brought over the miso soup. Seemed like she was in a good mood today. So happy you've been waking up early since we moved here, Keiichi. Oh, whoops, sorry.
There you go. This is yours, though.
If I don't wake up early, I won't have time to eat breakfast. Thought I was being cute, responding with a wisecrack after being praised for being good.
You want the mom, Kayla?
Sure, I'll be mom. Full bowl of rice, or will half be enough?
Also, I just realized I get to be Bob Ross in this then.
Pile it on. First, I savored the steaming hot rice with the seaweed. After that, I covered it with the egg. Between bites of rice, I enjoyed the crunch of the pickles.
Now I'm fucking hungry.
Yeah, get that crunch. I don't have to be hungry. I have goldfish and beer. As we go through this,
Yes, the two food groups.
like as we go through what sounds like a lovely breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad at all.
I mean, you get the crunch of the goldfish.
Oh yeah, the crunch of the goldfish to contrast
your
the
sips of your beer.
Yep, excellent as usual. Watching me clean my plate, Mom gave me a warm smile.
I'm so happy you haven't skipped breakfast ever since we moved here, Keiichi.
I was not a morning person when we lived in the city. I slept right until the last minute before school and rarely ate breakfast. Boycotting the breakfast Mom made me each morning. Well,
Oops, sorry. Only when I leave the screen. Okay.
that was probably the only way I could protest being forced to attend cram school. I guess that was what you'd call my rebellious phase.
Damn it. Wait, did I? Sorry about that. I skipped a couple. There you go.
Such rebel. Wow.
Oh, the
Amazing.
rebel. Oof.
There they are.
Not eating the breakfast your mom is making for you. What a dick. I wouldn't so much as look at the breakfast she woke up early every day to make.
Oh, rude.
Damn.
If I could go back in time, I'd slap myself.
Good.
I'm sure she would too.
Mindful of the time, Mom rushed me along with a wide grin.
Apparently, I'm not even allowed to like look at chat or like scroll chat at all because it scrolls in the game by accident.
Oh no.
Isn't it about time to meet up with Reina-chan? Hurry, hurry.
Mom really seemed to enjoy the fact that her son was going to school with a girl. Reina is one of my classmates. She really loves looking after people, coming to meet me every day without fail. The way I looked at it, a guy my age walking to school with a girl was just lame. But, well, Keeping a classmate waiting for me every day wouldn't be very considerate. Seriously, though, how long does Reyna wait there for me every morning? Taking one last gulp of miso soup, I raced for the door. Please thank Reyna-chan for the pickles! Or wait, is that the mom?
The mom.
Probably mom.
It's alright.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
Come to think of it, those pickles weren't store-bought, were they? If I'd known that, I would have savored them a bit more.
I think that's Rena. Who should be Rena?
Do you want you, me, David? David can be Rena.
Probably not me.
Why don't you take Rena, Kayla?
Please don't make me converse with myself.
It would be fun. What are you talking about?
Mm.
Morning.
Now, I have heard legends of the character
Reyna.
sprites. Oh, that's not nearly as bad as I was made
Oh no,
to think
this
it
is
was.
the new version. They updated the art in Steam.
Oh, okay.
For like an anniversary type thing. So this is the new art. I could show the old art, I think, but let me see.
That's okay.
Actually, let me actually let's save and load. Let's save. I'm pretty sure they have like
Oh my god!
Oh my
There's the
God.
original right now.
Oh boy!
I'm glad for the new
Yeah.
yeah, let's get back to the updated sprites.
There's
There's Reyna.
She shrunk. She
To be
shrunk.
fair, I'm also told that this game was originally made by one guy.
Yeah. I'm pretty
So-
sure. Well, I
That
think
makes
like
sense,
no,
okay.
two guys.
Two guys. Okay.
Even worse. Even worse. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Here you go. So there's Reyna.
So, we cut them some slack for things like this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Keiichi-kun. Good morning.
Her cheerful greeting was as fresh as the morning itself. You're always so early. You should try sleeping in sometime.
If I sleep in, I'll keep you waiting.
She's so conscientious. Such a good person. If that ever happens, I'll just leave you behind. You are not a good person. What
No.
the fuck?
Keiichi-kun, you're so cold. I wait for you all the time.
I'll leave you in the dust.
Wow.
Without looking back.
Damn.
Wow.
Oh,
What a bit.
look at her face.
You made
Why are
her
you so
sad
mean?
already.
Why?
Reyna had a slightly troubled look on her face. Yeah, no shit, bitch.
What the fuck?
Toying with her was rather fun because of how quickly her mood changed. I'm kidding. I'd wait for you. With those words, Reyna seemed to relax. Her face flushed bright red.
Thank you.
I'd wait forever until you came, Reyna. Wow, we've really
No,
whiplashed here.
yeah, well,
No matter
well,
how long.
drink.
Forever?
Reyna
God.
turned bright red, steam rising from her head as her brain short-circuited.
Well, before we had Makoto, and now we have Keiichi, the weird asshole.
Wonderful.
She's especially weak to this sort of talk.
Oh, you're still playing asshole.
Hmm.
It's quite rare to find someone this fun to tease. Have you ever read a romance novel, Reyna?
Oh God. Huh? I haven't. Never read any before.
Says someone who has absolutely read a romance novel before.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
From that response, I gathered she was interested in them, but was too embarrassed to actually buy one.
That's why she just reads in the library.
Couldn't imagine what would happen if she did read one.
Bibliophilia.
God damn it, Flynn. She'd probably turn red and pass out. Oh yeah, message from Mom. She says thanks for the pickles.
E.
I feel like there's a phrasing joke in there somewhere.
It was nothing. You're welcome. How were they? Not too salty?
They weren't that salty.
Salty. Rena's salty pickles.
Someone's been eating their pineapples.
It's like sweaty balls. Oh my god.
Actually, they had a pretty light flavor to them. It would have been fine to just be honest and say they were good, but apparently I couldn't be that forthright.
Wow.
Why?
I'd like to ask something before that. Were you the one who picked them, Rena? Or pickled them? Or was it your mom?
Huh? Huh? Why do you ask? Were they too salty?
Her attitude completely changed as she began to panic frantically. Is this kind of the protagonist of this whole game?
Well,
oh god,
one of them.
Oh my. Oh my.
Wow, I hate him. Was it you, Rena, or was it your mom?
Why are you asking who made them? Why?
Depending on who made them, my opinion of them might change drastically.
Huh?
She counted frantically on her fingers, trying to remember the amount of salt she'd used to pickle them. It wasn't like I was trying to tease her, but I couldn't stop myself. Guys who take pleasure in this kind of thing are probably the worst. Guys like me.
Lampshaded.
Yeah. Oh my word.
Anna nervously opened and closed her mouth over and over, trying to muster a response.
It was me.
Delicious.
Huh?
Pretty good. Just like the last ones. They went perfectly with the rice. Her face went bright red again. She was completely spacing out. It was truly a lot of fun to tease her. I pray that Rena never gets taken advantage of by some lowlife like you.
Yeah, what the fuck, Keiichi?
Keep at it, Rena. I'll train you until you handle it like the average.
Whoa! Whoa, Keiichi!
Okay,
Whoa.
well, that's
Well
a
then.
take. Or so I decided for myself.
Fucking Japan in 2002.
God. Let's go. If we keep Mion waiting, we'll never hear the end of it. Seeing as she just keeps spacing out otherwise, I called Rena back to reality so we could make our way to school. This strange, easily flustered girl is Rena Ryugu. I've only known her for about a month. I've come to realize it's not just her name that's strange.
Rude.
Jeez.
Mi-chan, good morning.
Coming up to the next rendezvous point, we saw another person waiting for us. Noticing us, she waved.
Mion. Alright. Ah, finally. You two are late.
Usually you're the one who's late. In sharp contrast to the diligent Rena, this one marched to the beat of her own drum. She's Mion Sonozaki. For what it's worth, she's our senior and head of the class.
Morning, Rena. It's been a while, Kei-chan. How many years?
I was only off 2 days.
You don't say. You were so much cuter back then.
Mion's gaze started at my chest, then dropped straight down, focusing on the point between my legs.
Wow. Whoa!
So she was saying it was my crotch that was cuter back then.
Wow.
Before you ask, just to be clear, I've never actually tried to show it to her.
Well, you know this was created by 2 Japanese men in 2002.
I've grown quite splendidly.
Wow.
You'd be surprised.
Holy shit.
Well,
Okay. Well, this is dialogue.
Not only is he bigger, but he has a little mustache now.
is that
Being
Wow.
so engorged with energy every morning is
Wow. What the fuck? What?
What? So be sure to greet him properly.
Oh my god.
I do not have enough goldfish for this.
And don't say next time. Right now is just fine. How about letting the little guy get a breath of fresh morning air? What?
School.
What the fuck?
TLDR, my dick is great. Why don't you whip it out then?
Yeah, right now. In
I
front of
don't think
the
I've
school
ever heard
building.
I don't think I've ever heard talk so dirty. You could smell it fouling up the morning air before. Mion sure does act like an old man sometimes. Gotcha. Time for the big reveal.
Whoa.
Hope you don't regret it.
Oh god.
As my hand reached for my fly, Rena began to ramble in a near panic.
Oh no.
Hey, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Red-faced and flustered, Rena tried to play dumb, but it was obvious she knew exactly what we were talking about.
God. How was it? Seeing the city again?
Mion switched gears, dropping the dirty talk and changing the topic to something more befitting the pleasant morning. Wait, did he whip his dick out or not?
We need to know.
Inquiring minds would like to know.
Is he having this conversation about funeral with his dick out? In front of the schoolhouse. Fuck.
My new headcanon for this game is that until they tell us that he's done his pants up,
Yes.
Casey's just going through life with his dick out.
It's like cyberpunk. Cage is going through his dick clipping through his pants.
I only went
Clip
for
that
her
shit, please.
funeral. I only went for her funeral. I didn't have much time.
So yeah, did you look for it? That thing I asked for?
You're not listening at all. Clearly still looking at my dick. I just came back from a funeral. I didn't have any time to look around in toy stores.
Toy stores and hobby shops are completely different, you know? It's really difficult to get Western stuff around here after all.
Is this about games again, Michan?
Mion nodded proudly as Reina giggled.
Yep, I wanted Kei-chan to bring me back a Westport catalog, you see?
Westport was short for Western Imported Games. Using that abbreviation did make it sound pretty geeky. You can just get them to send you one in the mail, can't you?
Well, guess I have to now. I'm going to get another game full of hot action.
This time I like a game that's easy to understand.
Miano's a board and card game enthusiast, and I hear she's collected quite a lot of different ones. According to Reina, Mion's room has kind of become a museum for domestic and foreign games. There's a game you think I'd understand. Let me play too.
Of course. If K-chan is up for it, I should warn you though, we're pretty tough.
Just what I want.
Oh yeah.
Eagerly.
God.
I play all sorts of games. I don't intend to lose.
He's a power bottom.
I mean, I don't know. All this whipping his dick out has me think that he's more of a top.
Well, well, I mean, she asked him to, so technically.
That is fair.
Whoa.
Then we'll let you in on the group this time, I guess. Or, I guess that was, oh no, sorry, that was Renan. Sorry.
You never know.
It's hard to tell.
Bristling with joy from head to toe, Rena looked back and forth between me and Mion. Mion gave her an affirmative wink, and her expression perked up even further.
I thought boys preferred. Oh wait, is it? I don't know.
Do the text for the whole page. I feel like it would be easier.
Maybe.
With some context.
Let's see if it gives the. It
So
doesn't.
doesn't name people in the log.
No, it doesn't. Let me see if there's a config for that actually. Does it say names? It might not. Nope. I guess it's just like it's like an actual novel where you have to kind of guess who's talking at one point. Well, I'm gonna assume that's Rena.
Okay. I thought boys preferred playing outside more, so I figured you wouldn't want to.
Hey!
Rena laughed happily. From such a friendly conversation, you wouldn't think I'd moved here less than a month ago. I understood that they did all they could to make a transfer student like me feel at home. We'll have to try harder to fit in, so they won't feel like they have to try to make me feel welcome. That's such a Japan thing to say.
Yeah, right.
I felt like if I acted a bit more open than I usually am, it should be about right for this place. Hinamizawa was a really small village. Not only was there only one school, but there was only one class. That class encompasses all different grades and ages.
Oh, so it's like Hare plus Goo. Okay, there's another.
There are about 30 students at different levels, and they all study in the same class. I'm told that long ago, there used to be a bigger school building, and they had actual separate classes. However, it seems something happened that made it become a single class, and now that stayed that way out of tradition. I was shocked at first, but humans adapt pretty quickly. I've already gotten quite used to it. The sound of children playing started right from the morning. It was such a lively mood, it felt more like a kindergarten than a proper school.
Ah, damn it.
Not that that was a bad thing. Mion, who had been walking in front of us up until then, suddenly let me take the lead. Right in front of the classroom door.
Because he still has his dick out.
She wants everybody to share in Keiichi's dick.
Of course.
So I was meant to slide the door open and enter the room first. Heh. Too bad. I wasn't going to fall for that again. To think you'd give up the lead here. You meant for this to be a test of my skills. Mion chuckled with a haughty smirk on her face.
What is it, you guys?
Step back, Rena. It's dangerous. She's here!
Huh? Then Satoko-chan is...
Her name was Satoko Hojo.
I kind of want Satoko. God.
Follow your dreams. She was a disrespectful, impudent, bossy kid.
All yours, Flint.
The way she talks was annoying, but it would be immature to get worked up over just that. The real problem was this. Quite the obvious trap. A blackboard eraser wedged in the door. It's too obvious! Satoko!
Yes!
Came from beyond the door.
Excellent, K-chan. I guess this means you win this round?
No, this is Satoko we're talking about. I doubt this is it. After falling for such intricate traps since the day I transferred, I no longer let my guard down. Satoko liked to combine a variety of traps. Traps that were simply there to bait you into the main one. Traps that relentlessly kept coming at you like a sadistic Rube Goldberg machine. The list goes on. That's only two things. Both being clever, they almost never there. When you least expect it, she strikes! No escape. No time for relax. By the looks of it, this eraser is normal. No rocks or anything in it. I took a pretty heavy hit from a blackboard eraser loaded
Whoa.
with a
On your first
Damn.
day.
Ow.
So then, why don't you just open the door and let it drop?
That's what it is. That's what Satoko was after. Making me focus my attention upward. So as I lifted my hand to the door, there were thumbtacks stuck to the sliding door handle with tape.
Holy shit!
A frightening trap. What the fuck?
Damn.
You bitch! A potent and terrifying trap. Yeah, what the fuck? Concealed by using the blackboard eraser. An impressive combination, Satoko. But in the end, nothing more than the trivial machinations of a child.
Wow.
Assured of my victory, I threw the door open and stepped into the room. You dipshit.
He's so good
Wow.
at something.
I felt something strange at my ankle. It was similar to the sensation of a jump rope catching on my leg. By the time I realized she had me, hook, line, and sinker, it was already too late. I began to fall in an almost picturesque manner.
K-chan, watch out!
Instinctively reacting to Mion's shrill warning, I twisted my body in midair before I landed on the floor. Ow, ow, ow! An inkstone filled to the brim was placed right where I would have landed. I shuddered, imagining the situation had I landed square on it.
My, what do we have here? A fair morning to you, Keiichi-san. Aren't we a lively one this morning?
Still sprawled in an awkward position, I was greeted by a mocking voice. That was a step up from your usual traps, Satoko.
I haven't the faintest idea what you mean. You're quite unlucky this morning.
Look at her face, guys.
You little... ow, ow, ow. Seemed I'd inadvertently sprained my back a little when I landed. Better than landing on that inkstone. A small hand gently rubbed my head.
Aww.
Who wants a small child?
I'll take a small child. Pain, pain, go away.
The small, dainty hand continued to gently stroke my head.
You didn't sprain your back or anything, did you? If you rub it like this, the pain disappears.
Okay, the joke about his dick being out is now much less funny because there's a literal child in his class.
There are multiple literal childs in his class.
Yes, this is possible all ages, remember?
Maybe his dick is back in his pants now.
Okay, we fixed it. We fixed the glitch. We fixed the clipping issue.
Good job, CD Projekt Red. Very timely patch before the literal child entered.
Woo.
I thought about asking how rubbing my head would help my back, but I didn't. It's not so much about what you actually do, it's the thought that counts. Yeah, thanks, Rika-chan. The pain's going away now.
Yay! Rika-chan! Good morning! Good morning to you, Reina. A good morning to all.
Aw.
Rika-chan greeted each of us with an adorable little bow. It was infectious. Rena, Mion, and I all bowed back. You're such a good kid, Rika-chan. So much better than Satoko. I glared over in her direction. Satoko was whistling while rather deliberately trying to avoid eye contact.
I'm the very model of a good girl.
Fuck you, fight me. A good girl won't touch those nasty traps. She's even holding her hands up like she wants to fight.
Nothing but lies and slander. Exactly what proof of what?
I picked up Satoko by the back of her collar. She looks like a misbehaved cat when I do this. But a cat wouldn't be setting traps.
Yes, it would if it
Lies.
could.
Cats could totally do that. What are you talking about?
She's much harder to deal with. I am Sorry. Try saying that. If you won't say it... I cocked my index finger on my thumb, letting it tremble as I brought it closer to Satoko's forehead.
I'm against violence. You don't even have any proof.
Just so you know, my forehead flick really hurts. It can split plywood right in half.
Wow.
Eee! Stop! Get away from me, you beast!
Don't say that in a way people will misunderstand. A small hand tugged on the back of my shirt.
She's been lonely since you were gone for 2 days.
Rika really is just so... How could I do anything more after being told that? I gently released my grip on Satoko, who at this point was on the verge of tears. She still had her eyes clamped shut as she braced herself for the forehead flick.
It doesn't bother me.
You mustn't cry, Satoko. Keep on fighting. Yeah.
Rika gently petted the head of her prankster friend. You would never guess those two are the same age. I think Satoko could learn a thing or a million from Rika.
Next time, set an even more amazing trap.
Wait a minute. She observed the scene. Rena's expression grew ecstatic as she began to swoon.
Look at her face, guys. Look at her.
Right?
That fucking face.
Talk about cat.
How? Satoko-chan is crying. So cute.
Ooh, so cute.
So cute.
God, all the good dick jokes that are in here are being ruined by the fact that there are children.
I know, right? You can't take them home.
Ooh, but they're so cute.
You can't, no matter how cute they are.
But just for a bit, it's fine. It's fine.
Rena kept a cutesy face, even as outrageous ideas spewed from her mouth. According to Mion, Rena is ridiculously weak to cute things and always tries to take them home. Object or person.
Stealing is bad, but abducting people is even worse. Give it up.
Then I can just look. Just looking. That should be fine, right? Right?
Rena swooned over Satoko's crying
Jeez.
form. Okay. If a girl ever goes missing in Hinamizawa, I'll be forced to turn Rena into the authorities. Forgive me, Rena. I'll be sure to bring you care packages when they put you away.
Jeez. The teacher's coming. Quickly, clean everything up. Satoko, the egging stone is yours, right?
Just from Mion's single statement, the entire mood of the room shifted back to normal. The inkstone was bad, but the thumbtacks stuck to the door handle were an even bigger problem. Yeah, they would be.
I wonder why.
I pulled the tape off carefully, making sure not to skewer myself. Even though Satoko was the one who set it up, everyone had to pick up after her. By the time the teacher entered the room, the bedlam from before had been neatly tidied up.
We made it in time.
Rise, attention!
Mion gave out the morning commands. It's difficult being the teacher for all these different grades in one classroom.
I bet.
I really bet.
She has to teach something different to each one.
How?
But naturally, she ends up spending all her time with the younger kids. Rena and Mion, being in the highest grade in the class, end up mostly doing self-study.
How the fuck do they actually... Well, I guess it's Japan, but still. How does any of the older kids actually get education?
They even end up helping teach the younger kids, so it seems like they can never get to their own
How
studies.
do they have an education?
They're actually
Yeah,
way
educational
behind where my
tornado.
studies have progressed to. Yeah, that's the answer. They don't.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, whoops.
As a result, I'm pretty much taking over for the teacher and helping Rena and Mion with their studies.
Jeez.
You're a pretty good teacher, Keiichi-kun. Easy to understand.
Rena took a breather after finishing highlighting an important section. Teaching is making me lose confidence. Makes me aware of how shallow my understanding of the subject is.
They say that to teach someone something, you need to understand it backwards and forwards. So while you're teaching us, you're getting in your own practice.
In contrast, this person over here is quite laissez-faire about things. For one, isn't she supposed to be in a higher grade than me? Look, Mion, this is for your own good. If you don't take this seriously, there'll be trouble later on. With these marks...
It's not like I'm aiming to go on to a prestigious school. I'll be fine as long as I can pick up where I need to know for the entrance exams a little at a time.
Her staunch defiance was really something else. This was a different type of relax than somebody who already knew what was going to be on the entrance exams.
Mi-chan, Keiichi-kun is doing his best to teach us. We need to try hard too.
You're such a good and honest kid, Rena. I'll make sure you guys get accepted into a good school.
What? Thank you so much.
Especially you, Rana. Private lessons, just the two of us.
Private lessons?
God.
A puff of smoke shaped like a halo popped out of Rana's head. Exactly what kind of private lesson is she fantasizing about that's making her turn so red?
I wonder.
I wonder.
Private lessons about whipping it out.
Yeah.
The children are gone.
The children are gone. They're only on the other side of the classroom, but they're gone.
They're gone. They're not to be seen
Teacher,
anymore.
the
Nope.
teacher right there.
Yep, nope.
While Mion was flipping through her vocabulary flashcards, she threw out a casual question.
So, in the city, do you have to study this much?
If you don't know at least this much, you can't get into university.
So, you study just to get into a university?
Well, yeah, basically. While knowing that this stuff won't ever come in handy in the future.
Accurate.
Out here, you can get into university as long as your attendance is good enough.
Really? Study equals entrance exams. Having that basic law of the universe so easily overturned sent me into a state of shock.
That is right. There aren't really enough people around here who weren't weeding them out with an exam.
If anyone can get into university, then there's no need to be all uptight about this stuff, right?
Well, that's true. But you should at least know some stuff that's common knowledge.
This old geezer thinks that instead of wasting time studying pointlessly, you should be spending your precious teen years doing more meaningful things.
It was too profound of a statement to simply laugh off. But since it was Mion, probably didn't actually have that deep of a meaning. In place of a chime, the sound of the principal waving a handbell drifted through the classroom. Why do they need a principal?
Who knows? K-chan, we're done, we're done! It's our wonderful lunchtime!
In a complete 180 from her unmotivated state, Mion gave the commands that signaled the end of the morning period.
Keiichi-kun, let's have lunch.
I might have been making a very troubled face. Don't judge me for it. Rana smiled brightly at me. All right, let's eat. I don't know, man.
Who knows?
I don't know who it was. There seemed to be different cliques even within the class.
Probably
Cliques.
what, younger, middle, and older?
Probably.
Oh,
Most
like-
of them were divided up by gender and age. This is true. Gender is a thing, I
True.
guess, when you're younger.
Especially for the younger ones.
But our group was different. Our ages were different, and we had both boys and girls.
By
no,
boys, you
that's
mean
cool.
you.
Where'd that drop go? But we weren't reserved around each other. Yeah, no shit. You were telling one of them was telling you
What about
to
your
whip
dick?
it out this morning. This level of openness makes a transfer student like me pretty happy. Rena and Mion pushed their desks together so they were facing each other. At the same time, Satoko and Rika were slowly lugging their desks over as well.
Keiichi-kun, hurry!
Rena waved her chopsticks in an unrefined manner, trying to hurry me along. How do you wave chopsticks in a refined manner?
Unrefined
It's
manner.
Unrefined.
No. But like, what would be the opposite of an unrefined manner? Of
Not waving your
them?
chopsticks.
Exactly.
That's-
I'm enjoying the vision of somebody being like, as they wave chopsticks, though.
it's
Unless
no,
everyone was
it's
together,
like a
they would-
conductor of an orchestra. You got to do it that way.
Yeah, gracefully.
What?
Are all nobles or fancy people just saying stuff like that in your
Oh,
mind?
un croissant. They're all French, at least.
Apparently.
I'm part French. I'm allowed to say things like that. Unless everyone was together, they wouldn't even open their lunchboxes.
Keiichi-san's lunchbox is most assuredly filled with nothing but bread crust like some sort of destitute plebeian.
See, she sounds like somebody who would have who would know how to wave chopsticks refinedly.
Right? Why don't you just show it to us? Come on, come now.
Even though Satoko was hurling insults at me, she still wouldn't open the lid to her lunchbox until I was there.
Aw, how nice.
I pulled out my lunchbox swiftly and dragged my chair over to join the circle. Hey, sorry to keep you waiting.
Well then, Representative Me, please give the singles to start.
Well, at first, this was kind of embarrassing, but I got used to it pretty fast. At this point, I probably wouldn't even open my own lunchbox if someone else was too slow. Our ages and genders may have all been different. We were all friends.
I mean, you're the only guy and everybody else is a girl.
Let's eat.
Let's eat. Let's eat!
The sound of our little 5-part chorus echoed beautifully through the classroom.
Itadakimasu!
Really, though, I've gotten pretty used to this group made up of all girls. Of course, there were other boys in the class, but they were a lot younger, so they were scared to approach me. Well, that's to be expected. Younger boys just see older boys as scary. That is true. That is true.
Fair.
Older boys were very scary when I was young. Compare that to girls. Well, at least these girls aren't picky. We put all the side dishes in the middle where everybody was free to pick at them.
No.
A lot of girls would mind sharing a meal with a guy, so I was a bit flustered joining in. However, Mia noticed that and teased me quite a bit. As the fruit of my efforts, I could now reach over and take sides from anybody's lunch.
My, isn't Sir Keiichi's lunch extravagant today?
My, isn't Madame Satoko's lunch extravagant as well? The stewed stuff has a nice look to it, rather trendy. Buying into the fight that Satoko was starting, our chopsticks locked in a cross counter, stabbing into each other's lunch.
My, how delicious.
Oh, this taro is good. The stewed stuff is good too, even cold. After seeing my happy face, Rika's expression broke into a little smile.
I saved some from dinner last night.
By the way, Satoko and Rika's lunches are always the same. Seems that Rika makes it for both of them every day. Rika made this too? These taste like Mom's home cooking. I was honestly impressed. Carrot rosettes weren't from a mold, they were done by hand with a knife.
Damn.
That's not easy to do.
Agreed.
I guess Rika-chan's just good at this sort of thing.
She's really good at sewing, laundry, and stuff like that. Amazing, right? Amazing.
Rika's quite exceptional in many ways.
That's nothing for you to boast about. It's not your skills.
Ren is actually better than cooking than I am. Huh? Well, you know.
Seemed that when the topic of conversation switched over to Rena and she wasn't expecting it, making her blush and trip over her words. Rena's lunch really was the star of the table. Not only did it look good, it tasted good. Everyone else pulled from Rena's lunchbox constantly. Everyone liked this one so much before, so I made a lot this time.
No,
Oh,
you
whoops,
didn't.
sorry.
Oh.
That's not Keiichi.
It's good, I hope. I hope.
It's got high marks from me. Ah, Mion! You're taking too much! Knocking Mion's chopsticks aside, I reached out, trying to secure my own portion. Satoko and Rika-chan reached over at the same time, and a struggle ensued. Everyone shoveled in mouthful after mouthful while praising it, and Rena's lunchbox was soon empty. It's kind of bad that no one thought to leave any for Rena.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that's so rude. But Rena seemed rather satisfied as she looked on.
How'd you like it? Isn't Rena-san an extremely good cook too? Quite different from Keiichi-san.
I said that's nothing for you to boast about.
You're not much different from Kei-chan, Satoko. Can you tell the difference between broccoli and cauliflower yet?
Satoko's face went pale.
Hey, even I can tell the difference between broccoli and cauliflower, you know. Oh.
Wait.
Oh,
Man.
I think the first bit was supposed to be Keiichi.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, it
They
is
don't
very hard
highlight
to tell.
anybody.
Of course I can. I really can.
It's really hard for her to lie.
Yeah, welcome to this game where nobody knows who the fuck is talking in at any given moment.
Keiichi-kun, both taste good when they're boiled and topped with mayo, right? You shouldn't be picking on her. Mi-chan too. Rena
hurriedly tried to follow up, but Mion laughed haughtily as she drew closer to Satoko.
Well, just pretend it's a little home ec lesson. Now then, Satoko, what's this?
Mion lifted up her chopsticks. Between them was a piece of green stuff wrapped in bacon.
But that's asparagus.
Mion made eye contact with me, and within 0.3 seconds, I had Rika-chan's mouth covered.
Oh, jeez.
Holding a piece of bacon-wrapped asparagus and giving her two choices. She's pretty terrible.
The yellow one is cauliflower. No, wait, the green one is cauliflower.
So which?
Probably the yellow one is broccoli and the blue one is cauliflower, but the green one is
When did a blue one enter?
Right? Do you really know which is which?
What's she eating blue?
How about you just give up?
I'd expect no less from the class representative. The oldest. The way she drives people into a corner just shows how much experience she has.
Wow.
This is just a hunch, but being brought into the Sonozaki household must be quite the ordeal. Yeah, everybody keeps telling me to whip my dick out every time I go in.
I do know. I really do.
Then answer the question.
I know.
She finally broke down and started crying.
Wow.
When she acts like this, she actually starts to seem her age. Yeah, I mean, she must be like 5 or something.
God.
How cute!
Oh, God.
Rena entered a state of euphoria as Satoko bawled her eyes out.
What the fuck?
Oh my God. Rena!
Oh, God.
Oh, Rena. Rena was in a state of bliss as she rubbed her cheek against Satoko's head and smothered her. Really, a very content face. One that wouldn't care if the world ended right then. It was that kind of smile.
Wow.
Rena! picking on me.
Cute! Cute! It's okay. Rena Oni-chan will take care of all those bad people. She's my little sister.
It was like a flash of lightning. Nani? Both of Rena's fists shot out at supersonic speed, striking Mion and me squarely in our faces. Before we knew it, Mion and I were sprawled spread eagle on the floor, staring up at the ceiling with matching welts on our faces.
Wow, she is strong.
I think this might be
I think this is
Rika?
Mion.
No, because Mion's on the floor.
It's not me.
Wait,
I'll say it.
Kayla, do the thing.
do the thing.
This is the first time you've gotten one, right?
Oh, okay, so it is. Today, she went easy on us. Mm-hmm.
You mean there's something harder than this? With that, Mion and I both slumped our heads back to the floor in unison. From now on, I'll be careful when I'm within striking distance of Rena.
I just wish I knew when the end of the page was before it changes. Then I'd go ahead a little bit.
Oh, it has the page icon instead of the arrow.
Oh, does it? Okay, good to know. I'm gonna go ahead a bit then. Fuck! No! Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Log. There you go.
No, it's still on the same page. It just
Is it?
put Satoko's portrait into the thing.
Oh, did it?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
See, Satoko-chan? I took care of them. Cute! I just want to take you home.
Making sure Rena couldn't see it, Satoko stuck her tongue out at us. Damn it all! Using Rena like a puppet. Mika-chan massaged our bruises without saying a word. See, yeah, now it's got the page thing at the end.
Okay. Okay. I'll figure this out soon enough.
No, it's a learning curve. We haven't test-driven this game.
Yep.
No matter what the day had held, the last school bell always came too soon. Our shadows stretched off into the distance.
Hey, Keiichi-gun, tomorrow, do you have plans or anything? Or anything?
Huh? It was such a direct question from Rena, I inadvertently blushed. If it was for a day, wouldn't you do it more subtly? Rena saw me lost for words and realized that I'd misunderstood, and turned red as well.
No, I didn't mean it like that. You see?
So apparently that wasn't what she meant. But since it's always fun when Rena's in a panic, I went along with it a little. Oh, really? So it wasn't meant that way.
Huh? Huh?
Playing it up, I slumped my shoulders, feigning dejection.
Keiichi-gun, why are you so disappointed? Why? Why? Mi-chan!
Unable to hold it in any longer, Mion slapped me on the back.
Oh. Wait. I see. This old geezer never knew you could push your buttons like that.
Huh? Huh? What? What? What is it?
Mion was rolling on the floor, clutching her stomach, while Rena flailed around, completely bewildered. I couldn't help but start laughing as well. Feeling just a bit guilty, I ruffled Rena's hair. Kidding. Sorry, it was a joke. That was my fault. She really is a cute one.
Huh? Huh? A joke? Since when? Since when? Why do I keep repeating myself over and over again?
About halfway through.
Halfway? So, Kei-chan, that means you weren't acting when you blushed at the start?
That means...
It was only a momentary lapse, but there was no way Mion would let such a delectable detail slip by her. Well, you see, saying anything more was also a bad idea. In my bewildered state, I slipped further into an unfavorable position. After that, Mion continued to tease me about it for a while.
Excellent.
Perfect. So why are you asking if I'm free tomorrow, Rena?
Huh? Oh. What were we talking about?
It'd been so long that Rena had forgotten. That's how long Mion had teased me.
It's just Kei-chan. You probably can't find your way around Hinamizawa by yourself yet, can you?
That was true. I hate to say it, but if you blindfolded me and spun me around 3 times like we're playing Pin the Tail on the Donkey, I wouldn't be able to tell up from down around here. Yeah, I don't think I know how to get anywhere besides back and forth from school.
Yes. So you see, tomorrow, we were thinking that Michan and I could escort you through Hinamizawa and show you around.
That would be a godsend. Frankly, I was happy about the offer.
You'll come, of course, right?
If I'm free.
You're being invited by a girl, you know.
If I'm free.
You're probably
You're
free
probably
anyways.
free anyways. If I'm free. I was being stubborn so as to not give a clear yes or no. Because I am a dipshit. Even though I thought it was a godsend, I'm too much of a scamp to say so up front.
Scamp.
Yeah, okay, bud.
Dipshit.
Keiichi-kun? You're not free, perhaps? Perhaps?
Or she's saying like, Dayone? Something like that.
Yeah, that's probably what's happening.
While Mion and I had a rather sour back and forth, Rena peeked over at me hesitantly. Figuring I'd been a bit too rough on her, I just gave in. Sorry. Forgive me. I apologize. I'm free.
Great!
The trepidation disappeared from Rena's face as it blossomed into a smile.
Hey now. Seems like there's quite a difference between how cold you are to me compared to Rena, isn't there?
Seems Mion didn't care for how rude I was to her compared to how quickly I agreed with Rena. But her being annoyed was very interesting. So I pushed Rena forward, speeding up our pace to leave Mion behind.
Oh!
Wow.
Let's go, Rena. Maybe it should be just the 2 of us tomorrow. Leave grumpy old Mion behind.
Huh? Whoa! If Keiichi-kun is okay with that, then...
I'm the one who came up with the idea to take him around. Don't ignore me, Keiichi Maebara.
It'd be great if the 2 of us could go on a picnic together. Should we bring a basket, Rena?
If we bring a basket, I'll make all the food, maybe. Maybe.
Don't you ignore me too, Rena. I'll tell everyone that you two disappeared to the hotel district together.
I'm sorry, this place has, like, a fucking... This place has no arcades or ice cream parlors or restaurants, but it has a hotel district.
Hotel district.
What else do you go out into the boonies for?
Is that, yeah. Well then, I'm gonna go home right now to start making it. Tomorrow's gonna be so fun. Later, Keiichi-kun, Mi-chan, bye.
Rena bounded off like she was walking on the moon. After the dust settled, all that was left was me standing next to Mion, sprawled out on the ground. There was a welt on her face. Are you alright? There was over 2 meters between you guys.
Since you came, they've become sharper. This old geezer's body can't handle it.
Maybe it'd be easier if you stopped saying stuff that makes Rena want to hate you. Or else this will end up becoming Mion's slapstick comedy hour. If that happened, the results might be fatal. Don't feel bad, Mion. You're probably the only one who can dodge her jabs.
It felt like it was her knee, though.
Could it be that we were hanging around with an unrivaled martial arts master?
Ooh.
Maybe someday we'll see her debut in an extreme contact sport. You can't lose to Rena. You need to train up and have a rematch.
Kei-chan, you should... This old geezer will root for you.
Mion and I reaffirmed our determination to discover a way to counter Rena's infallible technique. A title card.
I guess that was like one of the chapters of this first
Title.
chapter, maybe?
Maybe? I don't know.
You received new tips? Ooh. We're a mixed grade? We
mixed
don't have a
grade?
uniform?
What?
Ah. Wait, let me...
View all tips. View all tips.
View all tips.
All of them.
We're a mixed grade. And we don't have a uniform. Aha. Okay. Do we get...
What happens when you click on it?
I guess we'll find out.
So, what?
I think this is you.
Like a mini, yeah.
Yeah, mini
I think
thing.
it's you.
So, Rena, we're the same age?
Yes. That's right. We're the same zodiac animal too.
Hey, now, it would be weird if we were the same age, but not the same zodiac animal.
That's
Very
true. That's not true. If your birthday isn't the same, then you can have different animals even if you're the same age.
Huh?
Oh.
Oh, I see. Mion,
What?
you're pretty smart. I think this is Rena.
Yeah, probably.
Huh? Oh, I see. Mion, you're pretty smart. Is this me or is
Yep,
this...
yeah, that's Rena.
Oh, okay.
Didn't call him Kei-chan.
Oh, that's true. What month were you born, by the way, Keiichi-kun? I'm July.
Me too, Rena.
Rena smirked and puffed up with pride. Hey now, what's the meaning of this? She's not planning to be all high and mighty if her birthday is a wee bit sooner than mine, is she? Heh! Don't even. It's impossible to challenge me by birthday. I wouldn't even mind if you bet $1 per month.
Huh? Huh? Why? Why?
Rena panicked at suddenly being challenged to a wager. Given how panicked she is, I am certain she doesn't have much allowance left this month. It's just sending her into a panic about something as silly as a birthday is so fun. I can't help myself.
So that means you were born in April, Kei-chan? Right on. Wait, sorry, it's you.
Right on. Too bad, Rena. I'm already far older than Rena.
Oh. I see. You're the same age as Me-chan.
Well, it's just a few months. That gap will open up again soon enough.
What? What? Mion snickered through her nose. Age gaps don't really open up.
Right.
Well, I think it's they're in between the month, and so they're like probably like let's say 5 months. She's 5 months older, but right now they're the same age.
Yeah.
But in like 5 months, she will be, you know, let's say 22 versus 21, or probably younger. But
Or grade, maybe?
guess.
Well, no, I guess not, but...
That's not something to get all high and mighty about, as if I'm one to talk. Yeah. Now you mention it, you're in a higher grade, right, Mion?
If you're an underclassman, then I can be an underclassman from now on.
Michan, you don't make any sense to me.
Just by seeing Rena's blushing face, you could tell she knew exactly what she meant by it, though. Since Toko and Rika are underclassmen, their grade is so different that they should be in a different school, shouldn't they?
Oh, Rena.
Kichi-kun, your tastes are a bit too young, I think.
You're not making any sense yourself, Rena. I'll just grab onto her head and scruff it up a bit.
How? Stop it!
I wondered about it before, yeah. I was wondering why the school has different school years all mixed up.
There aren't enough new classrooms. Can't help it. This building is being rented from the forestry services, after all.
When she says it like that, it makes sense. I've thought our school is strange for a while now. This drives me to drink. The schoolyard is gravel, there are rooms that aren't for classes, and there's some strange sort of construction machinery parked here.
Wait, they left construction machinery in front of kids?
Why is it being borrowed? I mean, I assume the kids don't have keys. What happened to the real
It's still
school?
dangerous to play around.
There was one here forever from before the war. It got dilapidated. They closed it down.
Probably was a grand old schoolhouse.
Well, because of that, the students would have to attend the school in the city. That's pretty far, though, don't you know?
Which school would that be?
Did you know there's a school if you pass by the Okinomiya train station, turn at the hospital, and head towards the pediatrics department?
What? So far.
I couldn't tell where that was by the location, but I understood it was pretty far from Rena's reaction.
Well, that's why. The guys that didn't want to commute from Okonomiya rented out the building from the forestry services and are attending this pseudo-schoolhouse here.
About half the children in Hinamizawa go here. There are quite a lot of kids that come here on bike.
Well, since they're attending this really messed up school, it might be pretty hard for them to get into higher education.
That's not true, Michan. If you study properly, you can go anywhere you want.
Ha ha. Yeah, that's right, that's right. I totally agree with Rena on this one.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Let's try our best.
All of you try your best. This old man will be rooting for you.
Not just us, you too. You should be preparing for exams, shouldn't you? Your future is bleak with grades like this.
Fine, just fine. If I get stuck here, then I'll just mooch off K-chan as he works forever.
What do you mean by work forever? What do you mean?
You're too loud. Be quiet during self-study. Blah, blah, blah.
Teacher.
Ignore the teacher. Who knows?
Who knows?
Hey, you're too loud!
Shake stick.
It was completely our fault. Satoko saw it and chuckled haughtily. I stuck out my tongue at her in response.
What the fuck?
It's just as Mion says. The school has nothing to do with higher education. But it makes up for that by having lots of valuable things other schools don't.
Hey, Mion is the old man here. Damn it, Keiichi.
Let me narrate however I want.
Fine. It's my stream, though, fucker.
Then you should be the goddamn narrator. You want to narrate on your stream? Be the narrator. It's only June, but it's already so hot.
What am I paying you for?
You're not paying me any. I do this strictly for the enjoyment. I gotta hear the Higurashi.
I'm paying you an enjoyment.
Outside chirping, meh, meh. And out night there are mosquitoes. I make my own enjoyment here. Clint. You don't pay me shit. Might as well be summer already. Fuck yeah, I could go for some summer.
Is visual novel dubbed?
No, no,
Hey,
no,
Ian
no.
Yonders. How's it going?
My only salvation was that the mornings are still cool.
Summer, I do declare.
You can't just declare summer. Why are you...
Satoko can do it if she fucking wants to.
Satoko was flapping her skirt languidly. That's pretty unladylike there. Even if she was a little brat, she was still a girl.
Keiichi does seem quite cool with just a single button-up shirt. I'm so jealous.
How I see things, the skirt you're wearing looks like it would be much cooler. A girl like you just wouldn't understand. Wearing jeans during this season and how steamy the crotch gets. Why are you talking about this to like a 6-year-old?
Do I have to? Okay. It gets steamy. How?
This girl is not imagining something indecent. Rena Summer.
Is that me? Is it? I don't know who
I
this
don't know.
is.
Is it Rena speaking in the third person all of a sudden?
I know she does sometimes, but I'm not sure. I think Rena's summer clothes
Correct.
have a nice, refreshing color. I feel cooler just looking at them.
Thank you. They really do feel pretty cool.
I do wish my summer clothes were as breezy as Rena's.
But Satoko-chan, your summer clothes are so cute, being a one piece and all. I'd like to wear your summer clothes.
This is actually quite stuffy, you know. I do believe what you're wearing would feel much cooler.
But it'd be so much fun with the cute clothes. How? What does how even mean?
How? It's just one of those like, nyah.
I keep
Like-
wanting to say nya instead.
It's basically uwu. It's her version of uwu,
Ah, see.
Oh god.
I think.
Don't tell Kayla that. I had a feeling that Rena and Satoko's base values were fundamentally different. Speaking of which, our school doesn't have a uniform.
Yeah. It doesn't. As long as they're proper, then regular clothes are fine.
There are quite a few students in regular clothes. There were a few wearing uniforms, but they were all the same design and rather plain. What's the uniform they're all wearing? They're all the same.
That's a city school's uniform. It's not like there's a rule, but they're all wearing them.
Speaking of which, everybody in our group is wearing a different uniform, aren't we? The wonders of character design.
Right?
Did you go out of your way to get them from somewhere?
Why, yes, Mion-san supplied them.
Michan's relative runs a second-hand clothing store. They can get school clothes from all over the country for cheap, they say.
So you ask those relatives to get a bunch of unique school uniforms, then. That Mion, she probably loves using her friends as dress-up dolls. That must be a strange second-hand clothing store. I get that it's a second-hand clothing store, but stocking clothes for schools all over the country? It's pretty strange for a second-hand clothing store. You can just call it a thrift shop, dude.
Yeah.
What's the point in stocking up clothes from faraway schools they know nothing about? I
It's
don't know,
probably
man.
because Japan. It's probably porn. It's
Just
you know
Japan,
it's
just
probably porn.
Japan.
Who knows, man? Yeah, I think so too. They also have used school swimsuits and PE uniforms. I don't like the idea of having used ones. Yeah, neither do I.
Yeah, same.
Doesn't sound like that shop makes much money. They probably have me on pitch and help so they can make a bit more. But Mion-san says it'll be a big hit and become a great store. With such conviction.
A thrift shop that stocks school uniforms will be a big hit. Porn.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't get it.
Porn.
Porn.
Thanks, Japan.
Definitely.
Thanks, Japan. Okay.
What?
I think these are just like little like side stories.
There's side stories, and I believe they're supposed to give you hints into little hints that help
The
you along
mystery.
with the mystery, yeah. As you go along.
Oh, end of chapter
Yeah,
1.
Probably definitely need to save. Just in
Yes.
case, always save.
Yep, always save.
I took it a little too easy on the morning of my day off. I was totally late. Today was the day Rena and Mion were going to show me around Hinamizawa.
What am I wearing?
This thing. K-Chan, you're late.
Oh, I recognize that outfit. That's awkward.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Of course.
How do I want to?
It's on the poster for the new. It's on the promo images for the new Higurashi show.
Mm-hmm. Don't look.
Don't look.
Okay.
Sorry. The show I was watching last night was really interesting. Blame that.
Oh, so that's your excuse for being late and keeping two girls waiting?
Mi-chan, you just got here yourself.
Last night's episode of A Day in the Life of was interesting, wasn't it?
She was just as guilty as me. Brenda was carrying a pretty heavy-looking handbag. What is that?
Probably the food.
Mian answered my unspoken question with a wink. That's right. Rena really did make a picnic.
K-Chan, after you left, Rena pulled out all the stops. That's Keiichi.
It's not like I forced her to do it.
It was nothing, so don't worry about it, okay?
She's been like this since last night, you know. Can you take responsibility for this?
All right. I am a man after all. I'll take responsibility.
Huh? Responsibility? For what? For what?
As we both turned around to look at Rena, our gazes drifted downwards to the massive handbag she was carrying. Didn't seem logically feasible that it would be entirely filled with lunchboxes. Except this was Rena we were talking about here. About 2 kilos, I guess?
When Rena was picking it up, I could see she was struggling a bit. I say 5.
You're exaggerating. Kitchen here's a boy after all. I thought he could eat a lot, so I made a lot, okay?
She's hoping he can eat a lot. The children are gone. I can make those jokes again.
Yeah, there you go.
Just from the way she was lifting it up, I
like how you're just like, I can't make these jokes in front of these fictional children that
The fictional children being there in the fictional scene makes it uncomfortable.
That's fair.
I don't know what to tell you.
All right.
Correction, I say 5 kilos too.
I'll help out, but all of it needs to be eaten. I won't forgive you if you make Rena sad, got it?
The only thing I could do at that moment was exercise to make myself hungrier.
Hey, David, how much is kilos and pounds?
A kilo is roughly 2.25 pounds.
So 10 pounds of food?
Over 10 pounds of food.
12 and change.
Oh, gosh.
Having finished with the pleasantries, we began our leisurely stroll. A carefree walk, bathed in the gentle morning sunlight. I couldn't even have imagined something so wholesome existed during my time in the city. These were the boonies, after all. No slovenly desk jockeys trudging to work on the weekends out here. Really was a nice place. Peaceful and quiet.
Yeah, Nos, not enough bees for Ivanak. It has to be full of at least 5 pounds of bees.
Oh god.
No,
Bees?
no,
Question mark?
please.
Bees?
No, please, no.
As sparsely populated as the village was, you could still run into people just from walking around.
Ah, good day.
Good
Good
day.
day.
Oh, you would be my Barakun, I believe.
My 2 companions exchanged greetings with everyone we ran across. All these passerby even knew my name.
Welcome to small town.
When did I become this famous? I passed 3 people, and when all 3 of them knew me, I started to feel a bit paranoid.
It's a bit sad to say. Everyone knows everyone since there are so few people here in Hinamizawa.
So that means... when an unfamiliar face walks by, they just automatically assume it's that my bar fella who just moved here.
Yeah, that's how it works out.
So process of elimination you could only pull off in a place like this. It was quite effective. From now on, I'd better make sure to maintain a good reputation.
Start with, not pulling out your dick on the way to school?
Yeah, good idea.
Today I'm discovered accidentally gawking at a dirty magazine in the bookstore. I can expect all the villagers labeling me as a lech by the next day. Hinamizawa is not to be trifled with. That's not the end of this nightmare.
Nightmare. Is this me?
I think
Probably
that's...
I think it is.
Of course I know them. The first person we met was old man Takezao from the Makino bike shop. His hobbies are bonsai and playing the flute.
You know his hobbies too?
Yeah. Next, we met the grocer's second son, Daisuke-kun. His hobby is sharpshooting, and he hopes to be an ace sniper in the future. I think it's Rena.
And the person we just met was Mio-san, the nurse from the clinic. Her hobbies are bird watching and photography.
You know the names of everyone we passed by.
That's not the weird part. The weird part's the hobbies.
And even their profiles?
Everyone's
Yeah,
on
that's
the
the weird part.
everyone's on the Hinamizawa dating site.
Clearly. Seeing my surprise, Mion and Rena exchanged looks and burst into laughter.
You're fine, Nos.
Well, yeah. We're not like the city where people hardly know their neighbors.
Then let's try it out. You there, who am I?
You're Keiichi Maibara. You say some mean things, but you're actually a kind, shy person.
It's been 3 weeks since you transferred here. Your hobby is taking afternoon naps. Lately, you switched over to wearing boxers.
What?
Didn't you?
Why do they know? That's enough. That's enough.
You whipped it out.
Boxers?
Enough of that.
I mean, it's hard to whip it out without boxers, right? I don't know. Harder.
Don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to.
Experience. Oh boy.
This is another one of those questions you don't want to know the answer to. But
Fair
see
enough.
above re-asking them. Apparently, there's absolutely nothing you can keep hidden here. Hinamizawa was not a place to be trifled with.
Nas's hobby is listing people's hobbies. Hey.
Hey man, it's if you want to go through all the trouble of figuring out what everybody's hobbies are, it feels more like you guys are showing me off rather than showing me around.
That's right.
We're parading around like this after all. Don't you all think so, too? That Kei-chan is fitting right here in Hinamizawa. I think this is right.
The population in Hinamizawa is shrinking.
I think this
So
is
they're
Rena,
moving.
but
Is it?
I think so.
Is it? I was thinking it was Keiichi.
Maybe.
I thought it was another one of just random passerby talking.
Oh, maybe. Who knows?
Or maybe it's Keiichi. I don't know. Sir, the villagers welcome anybody who's new here.
Today's Q&A, the theme is, can you whip it out wearing this?
You'd be surprised how many things you can whip it out wearing.
I love that this is leaning into personal experiences now. And now I need that list. Can we have a listed Tharn list shit? There are many ways to whip it out.
There are many things you can wear to whip it out. Boxers, briefs, boxer briefs, jeans, wet pants, pajama pants, shorts.
Oh.
Oh god.
Okay.
Anyhow, have I ever greeted someone who just moved to the city like this before? Well, I sure hope you didn't greet people by whipping it out.
As am I, Nos.
Even that made me believe what they said wasn't a joke at all. We passed another person. Of course, we were called out to again the same way. Hey, whip it out!
Oh my, good day. It's
just
wonderful to see you
itself-
getting along.
It's just putting itself right out there.
It's a wonder to see you getting it up.
This is one of the two of you.
Son. Good day. Oh my, Mayabara-kun. How wonderful for you, having a lovely girl in each arm. How are you? Getting used to life here?
Instead of regurgitating a prepared response like I would have in the city, I responded with an emphatic nod. The old lady chuckled, voicing her appreciation of how energetic I was. What's with Japan and being energetic?
I don't know.
As I looked back over to Rena and Mion, they gave me a wink.
Yeah, also, energetic probably means something different.
So now then, Star. About time we have lunch, maybe. Maybe?
Rena's brilliant smile signaled the approach of an event that both Mion and I were trying to forget. We both looked at each other. I'm a man. I'll do what I can. But it's just too much.
It's fine, Kei-chan. Leave it to this old man.
Mion has never seemed as reliable as she does right now. I'd expect no less from the class representative.
Yes, the pyramid of have you guys seen that? Wait, where was that posted? That picture of the the triangle, like the pyramid of power in the world, and it's like there's like cities, there's governments, there's the Illuminati, and at the very top it's student councils.
I am not. That's hilarious.
I feel like that's a TV tropes thing.
Oh yeah, probably.
Rena, if we're gonna eat, we might as well go somewhere with a good view.
Yes! Good idea. I agree.
Oh.
Rena nodded her head happily in response to whoops,
Okay,
Mion's
fair.
proposal.
Oh, whoops.
Yep. Frog in her throat.
Why do these stairs look so creepy?
No, that was train tracks.
Are you sure? Because
Yeah.
we're at the
Yeah, it
top
looks
of
like
the
it to
stairs
me.
to a shrine. Oh. Coming out of the top of a stone stairway. Stone stairway! Shrine drawn
It
straight
looks
out of my
like-
imagination appeared before us. It had worn down a bit through the years, but the fallen leaves had been swept up, giving it a tidy feeling.
Oh, I'm gonna hydrate. 1 sec.
Hydrate before you hydrate.
Hydrate. I need to refresh actually. Boop, boop, boop.
I only have beer, so I don't know if that counts as hydrating. But
No, that's called dehydrating. I have a separate thing for that.
Liquiding, it's fine.
where is the ocean? Here you are, ocean.
What?
This here is the. What? I was starting to read and I just comprehended that halfway through. Never mind.
Right.
The ocean is what I affectionately call my 4-liter water bottle.
Aha.
Ah. This here is the Furude. Oh, there we go. Furude Shrine. It's probably the place with the best view around.
This place. Be sure to remember it. On our next break, a festival will be held here.
Isn't it a bit too early in the season for a festival?
That's
It's
true.
never too early for a festival. What are you talking
Even
about?
Oxgrog does do all the things.
The
Watanagashi.
Japanese. Watanagashi isn't a summer festival. Long ago, it used to be a celebration of the end of winter.
I was embarrassed for assuming that festivals had to be held in the summer.
Now then, spread out the lunch boxes, and there.
Various colored lunch boxes were placed one after the other on top of the plastic sheet. Sure did smell delicious. It was Rena's home cooking. But is it even possible to finish all of this? Hey, Mion! It'll take more than just a good view to get all this down, you know?
Hey, that's what she said.
All the children are here, god damn it!
Good afternoon.
It was Rika and Satoko. Why are you here? Why are they here? Mion grinned over at me. I see. This was her secret plan to power in numbers. You have my thanks, Mion. Following up when all the pieces are in place is my specialty.
We just had to come since there was such a commotion. What is the meaning of this?
Take a look. It's time for lunch. Buffet style. A handmade gourmet meal by Rena.
I can see that much. Why have you laid out a tarp on our property?
A trap. God. I mean, it would have been.
Yes, it's a trap.
With Satoko, yes.
The temple is public ground. It's not yours.
Keiichi is right. This is everyone's property.
Well, Rika's such a good girl. Have a seat. Eat with us. After opening up a spot for Rika, I promptly turned my back on Satoko.
Damn.
That is not a smart thing to do.
Hold on 1 second. Where's my spot?
No spot for you, and nothing for you to eat.
Don't worry. There's some for you too.
None. I'll eat all of hers.
I will not allow that, Rika!
Here, chopsticks.
Both Satoko and I leapt at the boxes, having it out with each other.
Man, really, Kei-chan, you're really good at leading people on. You might have a talent for this.
Have a plate. One for me-chan and Rika-chan too.
Rena whipped out pairs of chopsticks and paper plates.
If we don't hurry, it'll all be eaten up.
That's right. Okay. Shall we commence this battle?
Please eat a lot. There's enough for everyone.
Star. Rena said as she popped open a thermos.
I don't know how you say star, but there's a star there, so I have to say it now.
Twinkle.
I would say take a drink every time she says star, but might, depending on what you're drinking, it might get alcohol poisoning.
Oh no, I just have my energy drink that's almost gone. I would have to get alcohol for that.
Okay, David has to drink water then. Then we're okay. Has to drink from the ocean.
I shall
Okay.
probably drain the ocean before this is over. Just then, I realized that this lunch was made under the assumption that 5 people would be eating. Didn't change how much there was, but the implication behind it was different.
Very much so, you know. 12 pounds for 2 people versus 5 people.
I will not allow you to have this hamburger!
Using your elbows against the rules, Satoko!
Grabbing the back of my collar is also against the rules!
They are legit fighting over a fin.
It was a tough battle. Blocking with her full momentum and an elbow in the opening moves, Satoko appeared to have the upper hand, but the difference in our proficiency with chopsticks proved to be fatal and gave me the upper hand.
Ah, the last meatball!
Satoko Hojo has been bested. Nom!
His hamburger with chopsticks.
Satoko and I amiably began choking at the same time, falling backwards and spasming. Rika patted me on the head to clear it, even though it was actually stuck in my throat. Seeing that made Rena blush and breathe heavily in excitement. It was almost like flowers were floating all around her. Mion advised Rena to refrain from saying anything that could get her locked up.
Wow.
This is how our meals usually go. I'd do anything in my power just so things could stay like this. The intense battle calmed. Finally, everyone reached a point where they could begin talking. Receiving tea from the thermos, I let out a small sigh.
He likes to get choked, right?
No, the kids are here, guys. The kids are here.
Hey, Twitch chat is always a hive of
Scum and
I'm
villainy.
not going to finish that sentence. Lest I offend the people in Twitch chat. I do wonder why there are so few words in Japanese to praise how something tastes.
I know a lot of these people are the ones I've been telling you all about from the lying fork. Nos is
Oh,
one
okay.
that Nos runs the line fork with Colette.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Hi, Nas.
I'm trying
Hi.
to get them in eventually. I'm working on it.
Look, I need actual money first. I've told you this. I need
Hey,
actual
Des-
money.
money.
Desktop version is free.
I need time
I
as
can do
well.
that.
Fine.
I need
Working
to
on
stop
it.
having to do the goddamn job search.
I know.
Give me 3 weeks. I'll be in then.
Not stopping me. Okay.
It seems that long ago, people ate in silence. It
That fucking
must have made
sucks.
the people preparing the food a bit sad, don't you think?
It's probably because back then the people were busy even while eating and didn't have the time to compliment the flavor.
That's just you.
But you know, just hearing that it's good makes me happy. That my effort was worth it, I mean.
She blushed a little as she said that.
It was delicious.
With absolutely perfect timing, Rika struck Rena directly with praise. She looked straight at her with an expression of bewitching innocence. After Rena uttered an unintelligible noise, a ring of smoke rose from her head with an audible poof.
Rika-chan! I'm gonna take you out! No, I mean... Thank you! It really was delicious.
Rena flushed red with excitement, embracing Rika and rubbing her cheek against her so hard you could almost hear it.
Eventually, we'll get David to use the term "chan."
One day.
Fight me.
We will.
I know you will.
To reward Rika-chan for praise. Ta-da!
Come on.
Ta-da!
Come on, let me click the thing. There we go.
These are special.
2 apple rabbit. What's an apple rabbit?
Oh, those are so cute. I love apple rabbits.
After sticking toothpicks into them, she thrust them toward Rika.
There are apples that she cut up to make it look like rabbits.
Aw.
I'm pretty sure, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, neat. After Rika accepted them, the mood suddenly shifted in a bizarre way. What is it, Sadoko? What's with that defiant look?
Has everyone prepared proper praise to receive apples from Rena-san?
Don't push yourself. What kind of praise can you think up with your weak vocab?
Well then, allow me to show you.
After Satoko flashed Mion and me a defiant look, she changed the tone of her voice suddenly.
Hey. So, Rena One-chan's lunch? Satoko thought it was yummy too.
What's with these out of place
I don't know.
noise?
It's supposed to be a cutesy noise, I guess? I don't know.
That is not. It's so out of place.
It really
brings to mind,
is.
It so
like,
well.
I have
Looney
no
Tunes.
idea. Yeah, a little bit.
Satoko looked up at her poutily while talking cutesy. What? How is that praise? It's not even persuasion by tears. That's persuasion by cuteness, isn't it?
She has expertise against Rena, though.
Probably. This is a Rena limited special skill. She blushed and her head spun, waving around in circles. Don't fall for it, Rena! Of course, that was asking for the impossible. Rena glumped Satoko and began rubbing her cheek against her.
Oh no, the glomping is back.
Oh no.
Yes. Cute. Satoko is so cute. Star, take
Drink.
her home. How?
Okay, chat. Drink for every time Rena has a star and says and she says
Yeah,
star.
new drinking game. It's called the Star Drinking Game. Anytime you
Yep.
see that star with her, you have to take a drink.
Drink, especially as long as Kayla says the word star out loud. Swish.
Swish. Stab.
Stab.
Push.
Oh, my word.
Satoko was also presented with apple rabbits. After stuffing them into her mouth, she looked over at Mion and me again with that defiant gaze. It only took 5 seconds to take down Rena. That's unfair. I think she had such a trick.
If it upsets you so much, why not reward Renaissance with some praise?
Damn it. That was a dirty trick. First of all, that wasn't even praise.
Satoko, you think you've won with that, don't you? How about I show you guys something much better than your superficial gimmicks?
Sounds great, Mion. What kind of trick is it?
Kei-chan is going to be the one who does it.
Huh?
Why don't I have you show me then? The writhing of an old maid.
The plan of attack she suggested was wicked. But it was the only thing we had to beat Satoko. That's very
What?
important.
Oh boy.
After sipping my tea, I started talking, very naturally and calmly. Perfectly. It really is good, isn't it? This is all freshly made, right?
No. Actually, most of it, almost all of it, was frozen stuff.
Then which ones did you make fresh?
Well, it's just embarrassing. Do I have to say, must I?
From the synergy of boy plus handmade lunchbox, her expression had melted into euphoria. I already know. This one, right?
Uh-huh. Ooh.
Rena turned an even deeper shade of red. The words, "I can't believe it," practically written on her face.
How could you tell? How? Well, that I made it.
Of course, Mion had told me beforehand. It's been perfect so far. After acting like I was shy, I waited a beat. Next would be the finisher.
And then he whips it out.
Oh!
That was ruined. That ruined it. That ruined
Wow.
It had your smell.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Silence enveloped the area. Rena, face still completely red, froze solid. That's so creepy to say.
Yeah.
With a small yelp,
Mhm.
Satoko also blushed.
Can you tell that this game was written by 2 Japanese men?
Yeah, word of advice, anybody who wants to try to take this advice of this game, don't.
Don't.
Do not.
Of course, I blushed too. Because I'm being a creep at this girl. I sure would
Right.
like to try one of Rena's handmade apple rabbits or something. Even if this was all because I was competing against Satoko, it felt like I had crossed the line by a good 9 yards, I think.
Because
Okay.
you fucking did.
Yeah, you did, dude.
You really did.
Then, at that moment,
Whoa.
Oh.
there
Whoosh.
was an explosion.
Oh.
It was a Tupperware container filled with rabbits.
Please eat some Keiichi-kun! There's plenty for you!
Instantly, dozens of the apples were shoved into my mouth, knocking me over.
Okay.
Okay, say, Keiichi-kun! Star.
Star, drink.
My head was forcibly laid upon her lap, and even
Whoa.
more apples were shoved into my mouth. While
Consent
she
is
was
important!
squealing, one apple after another was forced into my mouth. More and more
Apples. How about them owls? Looks like we win. Oh god. Kei-chan, that was a beautiful sacrifice. How's that, Satoko? This is our complete victory, isn't it? I can't believe it! Such trickery!
I can't believe he's not choking.
It doesn't bother me at all.
Satoko ground her teeth, mortified. We did it! Mission accomplished. I claimed victory. Drifted slowly away from me. Oh no!
Oh no! Death by
Whoops.
apples.
At that time, Rena stopped her squealing as she suddenly realized something.
You were cutting off his ear? Rika-chan, you're not eating it? Did the salt water make it too strong, maybe? Maybe?
Looking over, Rika had pulled the toothpick out of the apple rabbit, placed it into her cupped hands, and seemed to be at a loss for what to do.
Poor Mr. Rabbit. I feel sorry for him. I want to save him.
Um.
I think she just threw it in.
Oh.
Oh. Never mind. Okay.
That was the sound of blood
Japan.
spurting from Rena's nose.
Cute. Tonight, I will take you home.
Go.
Take you home, Star.
Drink.
Tonight I will take you home.
No. No.
She shook sporadically, her head wobbling back and forth. Then, coming to her senses, she took all of the apples around me, gathered them up with a flip, and fixed them back up on a plate.
Now they're just all just fine, okay? Here, I'll give them to you, Rika-chan, okay? Okay?
Rika raised up Satoko's hand like a referee after having that plate of rabbits shoved to her. She whispered,
This is our victory.
It's okay. Neither do I either.
I don't know. Something about rabbits.
What? A comeback?
I don't think they win from that. Thus, my sacrifice ended up being in vain.
Sucks for you.
Welp.
Don't tell me that was a whole nother chapter dedicated to apple rabbits.
Apple rabbits. And parading Keiichi around.
True. But mostly apple rabbits.
Apple rabbits, yep.
It was a fun-filled, crazy day. But as soon as the sun began to set, the end of the day really did come quickly.
Later, Ren and Kei-chan. See you tomorrow.
Thanks for today, Mion. I had a great time.
See you tomorrow.
Satoko and Rika went home as well. We parted ways with Mion, and it ended with just Rena and myself enjoying the evening air on our way home.
Thanks for coming today, Keiichi-kun. Was it fun?
Yeah, lots of fun. Almost feels like a waste to go home now.
Then, well, would you mind taking a little detour? Maybe?
Detour? It's far.
I think that's chapter 3, Nos.
Yeah, that's when the Titans come in.
It's a bit of a walk, but it won't take long.
Since we'd been walking around all day, I must have seemed a bit tired. Not feeling like teasing Rena, I quietly nodded.
They have to get us attached to the characters first, not so we get like not wanting them to die.
Picture us Japanese countryside, and then the dump.
Traversing a small path and up a small hill, the land suddenly stretched out before us. Yeah, it's basically like what they did with Sayaka and Danganronpa.
Oh,
yeah.
Don't remind me. I'm still depressed about that.
Why? She was so obviously going to die.
She's also obviously going to try to kill him.
Details. I was totally oblivious to that fact, okay?
There, what looked like the remains of a dilapidated old construction site came into view. Large heap of garbage spread out off towards the swamp.
It's Makoto's home.
The trash heap?
Yes.
A fitting place for him.
Also
More like
trash
Keiichi.
boys.
Probably illegal dumping. I recalled it being in the newspaper.
Illegal dumping is also what they call when he whips it out.
It's been quite a while. I wonder what's here. I wonder what here.
When you say it's been a while, you mean the business you had here was with this garbage pile?
It's not garbage. To me, it's a pile of treasure.
Rena had already entered that well-known cute mode of hers. That meant there was something cute here.
Whoa, a new pile. I can't wait. I can't wait.
She bounded up the unstable slope. I'd expect no less from a born and bred country girl. Hey, wait, I'm coming. Whoa.
Me when I went to Washington. That is literally this exact thing.
My city-raised self was completely pitiful. You missed it, Kayla. Don't worry. It's all right. Oh, wait, no, that's you.
It's all right. Just stay right there, Keiichi-kun. It won't take long.
Rena kindly declined my accompaniment. Don't fall. Watch your step.
Good job, Nos. Yes.
Thank you.
I'm fine. This is nothing at all.
Literally bounding up the heap of trash, Rena disappeared over the other side. I didn't like being left behind, but I was still pretty tired from the whole day, so I just ended up waiting. Without the lively Rena around, the surrounding area quickly fell into silence.
Yes, my job here is done.
Yes.
Cry of the Higurashi gently cooled the air.
Uh-oh.
It's the title word. I feel like there should also be a title word whenever they say the word Higurashi.
I'm sensing something but terrible about to happen, guys.
Thoroughly exhausted, I began to feel a little sleepy. It's so early. Just then, the sudden noise of scattering pebbles alerted me to somebody's presence. Startled, I turned around.
Oh, hey.
Standing there was a
character.
typical-looking photographer. He spied over at me through his camera.
That's a typical looking photographer?
That is one
Ripped.
Wow.
Okay, Flint, I
With
need
dog
to
tags?
see, I need to see what this ripped fucking photographer looks like in the original Higurashi. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Yes,
hold on.
yes,
Okay, yeah,
do
hold
it.
on.
I need to see him.
Yep, 1 second. What? Okay, so this is the original art for this game. They updated it for the Steam recently. Oh my god.
Okay, that looks
Oh, boy.
slightly better. As a,
That
you
looks
know,
slightly more like an average photographer. This guy just
Yeah.
looks like really jacked.
This looks like a
Yeah,
soldier.
this is
a
yeah.
soldier. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he has seen some shit. He's got dog tags.
He's dog tags wearing camo with multiple pouches, wearing only a t-shirt with
It's almost winter. I thought. No, wait. No, it's still summer.
No,
isn't
it's
it?
just about summer.
Yeah, it's right.
No,
Summer. Yeah, they're
it's
waiting
just
for
the end
the
of winter.
right.
End of winter, beginning of summer.
Right.
But still.
Yeah. Wow. Ripped. Hello, photographer.
Oh, which one of us are gonna be the photographer now?
His body was tanned and fit.
Oh yes, he is.
Photograph me, Mr. Soldier.
Photograph me like one of your French girls.
But something about him seemed unreliable, and he had a bit of an aloof
Wow,
air.
rude.
I liked that.
Oh. He's a military guy because he does a lot of shooting. Aha! Nice.
Well, didn't seem like he was a bad guy in any case. Whoa! You surprised me. Although startled when I turned around, he overplayed his reaction. That was my line.
Amazing.
I'm the one who's surprised here. Look, sexy photographer guy needs a sexy voice.
Yep. No,
bad.
yes, good.
That's bad.
Like you say, like, a velour. Just going full on. What's his face? The best photographer voice ever now says.
My bad. I didn't mean to startle you. Are you from Hinamizawa? I gathered that he wasn't from that question. Unfazed by my suspicious outlook, he introduced himself without my prompting. I'm Tomatake. Freelance photographer.
Freelance this.
You can freelance me anytime.
Freelancing is what he calls whipping it out.
I come to and in Hinamizawa from time to time. I didn't ask who you were. Quite rude to photograph someone without consent, one would think.
Consent is important!
My bad. I mainly photograph wild birds. They can't refuse, you see. Oh, no.
Whoa! Whoa!
So, what, you're saying I'm the same as the birds?
Hey, Grimir! Thanks for stopping by. Go get some rest.
No. Well, you see, that image of a young man in the twilight was just picturesque.
This is getting... Whoa, this is... No, whoa, no. I don't know.
Apologize for trying to take your picture without asking. That's pretty slick.
Something's pretty slick.
All that annoyance I felt for being startled just flew away as he buttered me up.
Yeah, something's slick.
I mean, I'm not an expert, but I feel like you're not supposed to use butter for that.
I'm sure Saber would say the same thing, yes.
I had no intention of hanging around with this guy trying to get real cozy with me, except it didn't seem like Rena would be back soon. This older guy, Tomatake-san, didn't mind my cautious responses and continued rambling on by himself.
Oh. No, okay. Oh, she stepped away. Keiichi-kun, sorry to keep you waiting. I'm finished now.
Rena popped her head out from one of the lower piles of garbage and waved her hand.
You have someone with you? Oh, no, that was him.
What are you doing over there? That's what I wanted to know. Dunno. Maybe she's checking on that dismembered corpse that was out here long ago. Tomatake looked shaken up by that for a moment. Oh, I responded like I would if I were talking with Rena and the others.
Whoa.
Get that Gen Z humor. I can't tell if this is him or not.
I think this might actually be the photographer.
It's quite a disturbing incident. They still haven't found one of the arms.
Keiichi-kun, sorry to keep you. You were waiting a little while, I guess?
I'd best leave you two lovebirds alone. Again, my apologies for startling you. Keiichi-kun.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh, ooh.
The corpse has been disarmed, yes.
Tomatake chortled suggestively, then disappeared into the twilight. Missing my chance to retort put me off a bit.
Keiichi-kun, are you angry? Why, I wonder?
It wasn't Rena's fault, so I decided to just brush it off for now. How was it? Find a treasure trove?
Oh, yes. So listen. You see? There was a Colonel Sanders doll.
A Colonel Sanders doll? Oh, that thing. Those statues they always have in front of that fried chicken place. That life-size dummy?
Yes, Colonel Sanders, Star.
Drink.
How cute. I want to take it home, Star.
Oh, I'm out of beer. Couldn't tell how she decides what's cute or not, but, well, she seems to want it. It's garbage, right? Nobody would care if you just take it home, right?
It's become the base of another pile. I can't dig it out easily. There's no lamppost over there, so it'll get dark pretty soon.
Rena seemed quite down about finding a treasure and not being able to bring it back. I'll help you out. To repay you for that delicious picnic you prepared today.
Oh, thank you.
Birds heading home to roost proclaimed that nightfall would soon be upon us.
Keiichi-kun is going to help, Star. I can take Colonel Sanders home. How?
Rena staggered along as if intoxicated in her dreamy state of mind.
She picked up Colonel Sanders.
She's playing that shitty Colonel Sanders dating sim. That makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
I tried asking her in a way that wouldn't take her out of her cheery state. Hey, Rena. Long ago, did something happen here?
Seems like they were building a dam here. I don't know the details, though. How?
Just wondering if you knew about, an accident or something.
I don't know.
Her tone was disturbingly frank. It sounded more like a denial than an answer. I must have appeared rather dumbstruck.
I have to go to sleep. Taking you guys with me because it's way too much entertainment. Aw, thank you. Get some rest, Nos. Thanks for stopping by.
Go to sleep. Sleep
Yes.
is important.
Sleep is important. We'll always have the VOD. Well, at least until I move it to... I'll move it to YouTube. Huh.
Actually, I didn't live here until a year ago.
Huh? You transferred here too? I was sure that...
So you see, I don't really know much from before that. Sorry, Star.
I don't really know, don't want to talk about it. That was kind of the feeling she gave me. There's an unpaired apostrophe there, and it bothers me. Thinking about it, of course it would be like that. It's one of the type of thing girls would enjoy talking about. Why are you continuing to talk about it? It's quite a disturbing incident. Seems they haven't been able to find one of the arms. If it's just like Tomatake said, then I had a feeling only the Higurashi would know. Is that an expression?
Also drink, Higurashi. Maybe. Who knows? It's Japan.
It is Japan.
New tips. Damn site murder dismemberment. Newspaper edition.
Oh. Okay, let's see our new tips. The Maibara Manor.
A manor.
Wait, it's a manor?
He's got a manor. On the boonies. So, Kei-chan, you're not stinking rich?
What is this all of a sudden? Did I come to school in a limo before?
How much do you get for monthly allowance?
About $10.
My, that's a rather plebeian amount. His lunch is made up of normal stuff. He isn't rich.
What are they talking about? To be asked out of nowhere how much I get and then be told that's a plebeian amount.
That's what rich people do.
Oh, there you are.
Sorry.
Rena seemed to pick up on my dubious expression and started giggling.
Kei-chan, your house, you know, it's pretty big, yeah? So the architecture has people all around Hinamizawa calling it the Maibara Manor, and it sort of stands out.
Maibara Manor?
Since the house is so big, everybody's gossiping, wondering exactly how rich you are.
I see. Now I get it. Well, the frame of it is huge. You can see how it could cause some misunderstandings.
From my deduction, I wager they spend too much money on building the house, and that is why they are now broke.
Being broke. How very, very unfortunate.
Rika took pity on me as she patted my head. I go from being treated like a millionaire to a beggar. Yeah, sorry for ruining your imagination, but we aren't millionaires or poor. We're the image of a normal, average household.
You can't call it normal with that huge house. The entranceway is all grand and the gate is large enough for a large truck to get through. That's not normal at all.
They do say the bigger your house, the more prosperous you are.
You know what they say about a guy with a big house?
Big bank account. The reason the house is so big is because Dad's studio is in it, too. There are a bunch of different workshops, and lots of his works are hung up in different places. All of them are huge, too. For those reasons, the family actually uses only a third of the house for day-to-day living.
Dang.
He planned it out so people in cars could come in to see the gallery he opens up in the house someday. By the way, the entranceway for Mion is talking about is the one for the studio and is normally sealed off. The entranceway the Maibara family actually uses is a very plain and simple one. The interior is much different from how it looks on the outside.
I'd really like a chance to explore Kei-chan's house. Claiming not to be rich, but having a home like that. What could be hidden there?
Maybe there's something cute hidden. Yo.
They probably had no money to purchase furniture, so it's filled with Spartan rooms.
If there are carpeted rooms, I would love to try rolling around on the floor. Wow, I think it'd be so great. I want to roll around too.
Seems like their imaginations were just piling on. Well, sometime in the near future, it wouldn't be too bad to invite them all to my house. Dad is a sucker for the ladies, so he might even let them look around his studio. The cry of the Higurashi crescendoed as the sky towered over everything. It was hot, but the air was clear. It smelled like the beginning of summer.
Okay, so big house, blah, blah, blah.
Did I just say murder?
Yeah, apparently somebody got murdered.
And apparently
for
maybe
10
one
minutes,
of their
guys.
arms
10 minutes.
apparently got dismembered and one of the, I guess we're just going to find out now. So
Yeah, I guess you're going to get the summary of it now.
We learned a bit from the photographer.
From the June XX 1979 edition, the Shishibone City Okinomiya Police Station, July XX, late at night.
A reminder that this takes place in 1983, I believe.
Yep, 83.
So, like, 4 years ago.
Suspects blah 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 were arrested on suspicion of murder and improper disposal of a corpse.
Proper disposal of a corpse?
Yes. Well, yes.
Yeah, it's called burial
Or cremation.
or cremation, or
I
taking it
guess
to a
if you're
funeral.
murdering, who's going to do a proper disposal of a corpse?
That's why you get the extra thing added on.
Yeah. The main offender,
Okay.
blah, has been added to wanted lists nationwide. According to our sources, the six suspects were at the Hinamizawa Dam construction site workroom on the blah at 9 p.m., where they are suspected to have assaulted and murdered the site overseer blah as a group, dismembering his body and hiding it. On the blah at 8 o'clock in the morning, a report was filed by the Shishibone City Hospital in which a male suspect alluded to having murdered Mr. Blah. When questioned at the police station, the individual confessed to the crime.
Oops.
Since a portion of the body was recovered at the location he gave, he was arrested that afternoon on suspicion of murder and mutilation of a corpse. The rest of the suspects were arrested the same day, but the main culprit is still at large. Police are currently on his trail.
4 years ago.
The motive is purported to be a drunken verbal dispute, during which he killed the victim in a fit of anger. However, there are multiple inconsistencies with their testimonies, and the investigation is ongoing.
Interesting.
How very interesting.
Told you there was going to be murder in this game.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's a murder mystery game.
That's not what Steam tags it as.
Really?
Yeah, go look at it real quick.
Why are you looking into the game?
I was curious.
David.
I'm not
David.
looking up
No
spoilers.
cheating.
You know what
I'm
happened when
not.
you know what happened when you weren't looking up Slayer spoilers? You found Slayer spoilers.
I looked at the goddamn Steam page for the game.
Meh. Don't look. Don't look at it. Okay.
Anyhow.
Actually, give me 1 second. I'm gonna take a quick break. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back.
Talk. Hi, Kayla.
Talkie. Hi, David. How you doing?
Wait, shit. Why did I say hello to myself? God damn it. Actually, no. Flint's not here. Flint's not here, so it's not funny.
Oh, yeah, it's fine. We're good.
How's life?
It's going great, doing schoolwork, homework, taking groceries, all fun things. How's your life?
It's going. Eating goldfish, drinking beer on a Friday night while I mark exams.
My drink's gone. I'm very sad.
I'm marking exams in the background, so that's fun.
Ew. I mean, fun.
Yeah, right.
You could just fail them, right? No one would know.
They would definitely know.
Nah. No one would know. Be
Trust me on
fine.
this. They would definitely know. Those weens. They check their exams and they actually read the comments I write on them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. People do that sometimes.
Fucking engineers.
Fucking engineers. Okay.
I never did that when I was in undergrad. They should just
No, I
learn.
did.
They should just learn to be slackers like me in undergrad so that I don't have to so I can continue to be a slacker on marking their exams.
There you go.
Nope, no slacking for you.
I know.
Man. A Colonel Sanders? Oh, of course that's right up her alley.
I understand her wanting to take home Satoko and Rika. But I can't understand the Colonel Sanders. What's so good about that four-eyed geezer? Don't
Probably
talk
better to
shit
hear
about-
it from Rena, don't you think?
talk
She'll
shit about
probably
the
just say,
Colonel.
because it's so cute, Star, though.
No, that Star Wars 2 Force. You have to let it flow.
Does Rena often go to the construction site to hunt for treasure?
I shouldn't have stuck her food in my mouth. Sorry.
Or
Oh,
How dare
okay.
you?
Yay.
Every now and then she says she's going to have a look.
every now and then I fall apart. But
like
a
this is
girl
you.
her age rummaging around in garbage as well.
If Rena enjoys
Rena
it.
enjoys it.
Oh, sorry.
I have no idea who this is, actually.
Who knows? If
If
Rena
Rena
enjoys
enjoys it, then I think it'd be fine.
I think it's the tiny one because there's a
Oh, probably.
dot at the beginning.
Yeah,
What are
probably.
they doing over there? Dam construction? It had been bugging me since yesterday, like an itch I couldn't scratch.
It was canceled a long time ago.
And they have that weird flash of overexposed light again, too.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone gathered. Oh,
This
this
is-
is not me.
This is me. Everyone gathered together and fought against it.
Hearing an ominous word like "fought" come from Rika's mouth startled me.
Fought is an ominous word?
That's right. It was unbelievable. They said Hinamizawa would be sunk into the reservoir and we had no say in the matter.
So I'm only able to be here because the protest succeeded.
I'm sorry. I didn't keep you, did I? Did I?
My deepest apologies, Keiichi-san. It took me a while to powder my nose.
Satoko, wait to use the can until you really have to go. It's a lot easier since it shoots right. What?
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 How dare you speak that way to a maiden of unparalleled beauty such as myself?
Oh, that's just a really bad joke, I think.
Yeah.
Who's she calling a maiden? Satoko really was a maiden. She wouldn't have reacted like that. The usual hijinks and
Insert hijinks here. Now then, gentlemen, in accordance with the rules of our society, I bring a point to discussion. He, Keiichi Maebara-kun, wishes to be included as a member in our activities. What say you?
Rena has no objection.
I wonder if the likes of this peasant is up to the task.
Me and Satoko both approve.
The three that Mion had queried voiced their approval.
A unanimous decision. Congratulations, Keiichi Maebara-kun. I present you the honor of being allowed to take the entrance exam for our club.
What? Start from the beginning. I didn't say I would join. What club is this?
What our club does, you see. In order to cope with our complicated society, we perform various activities under different sets of rules. Sometimes they are in your favor, and sometimes they work against you.
I'm pretty weak, so I prefer if you didn't single me out. Let's try to get along.
You're so naive, Rena. The law of the jungle is survival of the fittest.
This was starting to sound a bit sketchy. So what kind of club was it?
To sum it up, it's a club where we play games together. Where did games come from?
Rika was the only one to answer my question with a pertinent response. Well, Mion or whatever is like a board game nerd.
Uh huh.
It's basically this club
Oh,
with
that's
Mion's
true.
hobby of collecting games to use. By playing the various games that Mion had hoarded every day. Seemed that, depending on the day, there were prizes for the winner or a penalty for the person who finished in last place.
I'll make this clear right now. We aren't playing house here. You should treat each win or loss as if your life depends on it, alright?
What's wrong with just having fun? Don't make it sound so crazy.
The first rule of our society. Aim only for first place. Going at it half-assed just because it's a game is not allowed.
The phrase, "it's just a game," is such a weak mindset.
It really is.
Rule number 2 of our society. For that reason, you are obligated to make all possible efforts.
The way Satoko said it, it sounded like she was saying, use any means necessary.
Of course, I will do my best, too. I'm pretty weak, but I'm trying to do my best.
I knew what they were trying to say. In a game where everyone is aiming for the top, it's rather unsportsmanlike to play just for fun. Alright, then I too will go all out!
And then he whips it out.
With that, I was finally ready for the rite of initiation. My baptism into the club.
A word of warning, Kei-chan. Rena can get pretty nasty.
This initiation looks like it's going to be rough. Yeah, I bet Rena can get pretty nasty.
Ayo!
Mion began fishing around in the student lockers in the back of the room. They have the games here at the school? Okay, sure.
Why not?
Well, it's club equipment, so I guess that's fine.
Complicated games would put Kei-chan at a disadvantage. So today we'll play a game that you should be familiar with. How about a standard card game, like Old Bachelor?
What the fuck is Old Bachelor?
I assume it's
No
Old Maid.
idea. Is it Old Maid?
Yeah, I was about to ask if it's Old Maid. Alright, let's do this.
Can't really get into it unless there's a penalty. This time the loser will be sentenced to having their face drawn on. What do you think?
Whoa, whoa. It won't be old oil-based paint, right? Right?
Oil-based. Face painting with oil-based paint?
Oh.
That is perfect. Satoko cheered the idea on.
Oh.
She didn't even flinch at the thought of such a severe penalty.
Wait, why is oil-based more worse?
Seemed
than-
like she was raring to
not?
go. Probably because it's harder to get off, I assume.
Hmm.
If it's going to be like this, then I can't lose either. Then I'll just cut the deck and start dealing. Well, Bachelor's pretty much the same as Old Maid. There we go.
Thank you.
There's only one difference. There's no Joker.
Uh-huh.
Wait, isn't that what?
In its place, one card is pulled out at the start, meaning there will be one card without a match left over at the end.
Uh-huh.
You don't know which card will end up being the Joker.
Oh, this sounds like an amazing version of Old Maid.
Interesting.
Pretty thrilling game.
Here we go. Oh, battle music. Let's go.
I'll take the card out now.
I take a card and play it.
Take a chip and eat it.
Exactly.
Literally take a chip and eat it.
Is there like Yu-Gi-Oh battle music that we can use? I'm gonna find some Yu-Gi-Oh battle music for myself at least.
Yeah, I don't know about DMC. I don't know.
That's fair.
I'd also have to listen to them both at the same time.
Rena took out one card and placed it face down on the table. Everyone stared at the card intently.
Which card is it? Woo!
Well, it'll be pretty obvious in the end game. No way to tell at the start. But the rest of them were very serious. They didn't seem as relaxed as I was. They compared their cards to the one face down, all the while gauging each other's reaction. It was as if they could see what the face down card was. No, it couldn't be. This deck is pretty worn out. No way. Can everyone tell by the scratches what the card on the table is?
Remember the second rule of our society. Keiichi-san must try his hardest to win as well.
That's hilarious.
A number of the cards are quite unique. Keiichi-kun should be able to remember them pretty quickly.
She said that so matter-of-factly.
He's at a disadvantage.
Suits me fine. Don't think a little thing like that can be your crutch. I lashed out angrily, but it was rather obvious I was at a disadvantage. But I have one strength left to me. The heart of the cards. For all they'd gone so far as to memorize the wear and tear for each individual card. This wasn't a simple game of Old Bachelor. This was a test. They were playing with the answer sheet in front of them. Bring it! I'll take the advantage of your carelessness and beat you at your own game. That baseless confidence would soon be crushed.
It's like a title card. How about I tell you your hand starting from the right? 3, 4, 9, Jack, Queen.
Whoa!
By the way, the Bachelor is the Jack of Diamonds.
Gah!
I can tell what they are even if you switch them around. I'm out.
I thought I was prepared, but for it to be this brutal, just overwhelming. Demons. You're all demons.
Demons!
Rena isn't a demon, are you?
Sorry, Keiichi-kun. This is 3 of hearts, isn't it? I'm out.
Not even a hint of mercy. Rena, even Rika! These club activities weren't to be trifled with. An alumnus of this club would definitely survive in the cruelest of situations. If our entire class had self-detonating collars strapped to their necks and were dropped into a death match on a deserted island, these guys would probably take to it like fish to water.
Hey, nice Battle
What,
Royale
Danganronpa?
reference.
Yeah.
No, this is that's a Battle Royale reference.
Seems Danganronpa-ish though.
Kind of.
I can already picture their joy as they hunt down each of their classmates.
I'm pretty sure Danganronpa was partly based on Battle Royale.
Probably.
It's a lowest point system. The order itself dictates the points. Whoever has the lowest points, total wins.
Since Keiichi finished last, he has 5 points.
There's already a 5 marked down on my scoreboard.
I think it's unfair to Keiichi-kun if we don't use a new deck.
It's fine. Kei-chan is a man after all. They can turn the tables even if the odds are stacked against him, right? It's fitting for a lowly peasant to scamper home and soak their pillow in tears, don't you think?
Bitch. A petite hand laid itself on top of my head, which was trembling from uncontainable frustration.
Keiichi will just go back to his mansion box.
It was Rika's. Man, the Yu-Gi-Oh music does add, like, some real intensity to this.
No.
Keep on fighting. Yeah.
Thanks to Rika's words of encouragement, I was able to calm down.
Yeah, right? Battle Royale was great.
You need to be calm, especially when you're cornered. That's the power I could muster during this crisis.
Amusingly enough, Battle Royale was like the very first like voice acting gig I ever got that never actually happened. I was so sad.
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Oh no, it was just like one of those fan dub type things that they did in the like when they had
Gotcha.
forums for that. I got to be
Right.
the girl that committed suicide after accidentally poisoning all her friends.
Oops.
Oh, shit. Take your time and look at the cards carefully. Believe in the heart of them. You can do this. It's just as Rena said, each card has its own distinct markings that made them stand out. Memorizing them should be pretty simple. Think about what you can do in this situation. Try everything in your power to improve your chances of victory.
Wow! Great, Keiichi-kun, just like that!
I covered the uniquely marked cards with my hands or other cards, arranging them in such a way that they couldn't be seen.
The one with the ripped corner should be the 5. And I'm out.
I couldn't let any of those precious hints slip by me. All information is a weapon. Damn, he's getting real into this.
Right.
And it was my turn. Satoko fanned out her cards for me.
I think this is you?
Oh, you
This is
see,
getting-
I want the 7. Is that this one?
I wonder about that. You won't know unless you take it.
There was a bit of dismay in her expression. Like she doesn't want it taken. That kind of expression. I won't let that momentary lapse slip by me.
Wow.
I know! It's this one! Got it. 7 of spades. Cheer of ooh ring out.
Well, what is this? The 7 should be the hardest one of all to tell apart.
Wasn't from memorizing the markings. Those slight changes in their expressions as I was selecting a card were enough.
Can't hide it from me, Kei-chan. This mark means it's a 2 of diamonds. What?
She was startled by her own misread. Of course everyone else was too.
Whoa! It's rare that Mii-chan gets a card wrong.
No! Kei-chan! Could it be you?
They told them apart by different marks.
He added marks.
Whoa.
That mark was a nail scratch. So I put a new one on it.
Are you saying he disguised it as the 2 of diamonds? What an impressive show of wit!
Keiichi landed a clean hit.
Clap, clap, clap. Clap, clap, clap.
That's great, Keiichi-kun! That was an incredible match, you know. You know?
Having defeated the Forerunner, Mion, my brilliant battle left me ecstatic. But by total points, it was already set in stone that Mion would win and I would finish last. I laughed haughtily, selecting the tone of my voice carefully to get on Mion's nerves. Well, I'm going to end up the loser, but I'm satisfied with one-upping Mion at the end. Twinkle. That should be the proverbial slap in the face to Mion, who was at the top already and ensured victory.
Even if K-Chen gets first place this round, he'll still end up last place overall. Don't you hate that?
Of course I do.
Let's have a duel. One chance. If you win, then we'll swap first and last place. How about it? You up for it?
She fell for it. Chance for an upset that wouldn't be possible without goading her into it. One chance, you say? Let me hear the rules.
If you had one chance, one opportunity.
One moment.
Deadly.
Mom spaghetti.
Last try.
Mion discarded two cards from her hand and replaced one with the Joker card that was on the table, then shuffled the resulting hand behind her back.
The card in my right is the card in my right or the card in my left. If K-Chen can guess which hand the Joker's in, then he wins.
When you turned around just now, you didn't pull out the Joker, did you?
If you lose,
If you lose, I'll show the card in the other hand. Oh, sorry.
If you lose, I'll show the card in the other hand. That okay?
The other three gulped nervously at this unexpected turn of events. All right. You got it. Mion grasped one card in each hand and thrust them out at me. First, I needed to inspect them closely. The card on the right had no distinguishing marks, so I couldn't tell which one it was.
Which one, I wonder? Keiichi-kun, be careful.
Yeah, of course. This is my chance for a big comeback. Looking closely at the card on the left, I saw a little wear. Well, wasn't one I had seen before.
Ah, that card is.
I didn't let that bit from Satoko slip behind me. Mion clucked her tongue. I didn't recognize the mark on the left card from the small number that I had memorized. I didn't know what the left card was, but I could tell from Satoko's reaction that the card had already appeared during the game. Since it had already appeared before, it meant that it definitely wasn't the Joker.
Ooh, K-Chen thinks it's the one on the right. Will you choose that one then? Will you?
The left card definitely wasn't the Joker. If I could trust that theory, then I should have been able to declare that the card to the right was the Joker. Even without Mion's taunting, the one on the right was the most suspicious. But wasn't it a bit too rash to decide based solely on Satoko's reaction? More carefully. Ah! I remember now. That mark, the left card, no doubt about it. The 7 of clubs.
It's the 7 of clubs I see.
Oh,
I've won. Card on the left was the 7 of clubs. So that meant the card on the right was the Joker. And then just before my hand touched the right card, I froze. I would expect no less from you. There's a wave of murmurs amongst the onlookers at my right, just before I confirmed that the right card was the Joker.
Huh? What could Keiichi-san possibly be saying? I mean, the left one is...
Oh, what makes you so certain that the right one isn't the Joker, K-Chan?
Mion let loose an unexpected question. Everyone else was baffled. I don't know what the card on the right could be. But I know that the one on the left is the 7 of clubs.
Then, doesn't that leave the right one as the Joker? One of them has to be the Joker, right?
Yeah. One of those is the Joker, right?
Keiichi has good intuition. Huh? Rika-chan, what do you mean by?
So basically, the 7 of clubs, I discarded that by matching it with Satoko's 7 of spades earlier. Everyone's attention snapped to the discard pile at the same time. The truth of the matter couldn't be discerned from that sloppy pile. So that means Mion pocketed one of the discarded cards, then aligned it over the left card. And that means...
I see. I get it. This card, this left card, is being disguised as the 7 of clubs, right?
It was the first time since the start of the map that a shadow ran across Mion's expression, and I didn't let that slip by. Then, with a grand flourish, I declared it loudly. The Joker is the left one! It was an intense moment. That 1 second felt like an eternity for everyone there. Breaking that silence, the first one to speak was Mion. Being the first president of this club, I've been witness to a variety of... Oh, sorry. I was on a roll.
That's fine.
God damn it.
Being the first president of this club, I've been witness to a variety of performances. Kei-chan, yours is the best. The best of the best of the best.
That was probably the greatest compliment Mion could give. Mion accepted her defeat, dropping the cards from both hands. My comeback victory! I am the comeback king! Rika placed her hand on my head and began petting it, congratulating me on my victory.
Huh? Rika-chan is...
Rina and Satoko gaped at us, as if they had seen a ghost. What is it, Rina? It's not as if I cheated or anything, right? This was fair and square.
Rika, only pat someone on the head to console them.
Huh? What's the meaning of... At that moment, Rena let out a small shriek.
Keiichi-kun! This is how it was?
You know, Kei-chan, I thought you'd read into it that far.
This is some 5D chess bullshit. Everyone froze. No, it was just me.
It was a gamble. If you had just jumped to the conclusions like a little brat, then I would have lost.
It was the answer everyone was certain about. Mion picked up the card from the losing hand.
Kei-chan, you know, you should take pride in this loss.
She turned it around. That was the card that proclaimed the victor of this duel. The card under the 7 of clubs. Unbelievable! It was the 2 of diamonds! it was a setup behind the setup. If I just picked the right one without reading so deeply into it.
Danger of overthinking.
I, Mion Sonozaki, as the club president, do accept Keiichi Maebara's membership into our club.
As I slumped to my knees, dazed, everyone let out a round of applause for the excellent effort I gave despite my defeat. This is such a fucking Yu-Gi-Oh arc.
All right, the match is now over. Today's victor is me, Mion Sonozaki, and our exalted loser is Keiichi Maebara.
Everyone made a commotion, applauding cheerfully. Yay. I felt arrested, but I was so soundly beaten that it felt unexpected. That it unexpectedly felt rather refreshing.
When Micha pulled that little trick behind her back, I got excited, thinking she was gonna do it again.
Oh, when Keiichi-san stopped the moment before touching the correct card, I thought he fell for it.
excitedly.
Huh? Wait. All of them knew from the start and still got so excited so earnestly?
Everyone got excited to make it more fun.
You're all demons! You monsters!
Now then, Kei-chan, it's time for your penalty. Since it's your first day participating, I'll go easy, okay? It would be a problem if you refused to come to school.
The other 3 members held down my arms and shoulders firmly. Okay. Mion approached, licking her lips.
God.
This is very uncomfortable. Her right hand went to pull something out of her pocket. That's a felt tip marker, and it's large and oil-based.
Okay, here we go.
She took the cap off the marker and brought it slowly up to my face while I was immobilized. No, 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 no.
Those are some death throws. Those are some death throws, David.
No! What do you want me to do? Full Darth Vader?
No. Yas.
Much better
Ah,
than yes.
queen.
You don't fuck with me on Sonozaki.
Apparently not.
She fuck with you.
Oh, I need to stop the Yukio music.
All right. Okay, yeah.
The current mood. As soon as the club activities were finished, Rana flew off. Probably so she could dig out that cute Colonel Sanders that she wasn't able to take home yesterday. So today it was just Mion and me walking home together. Rather rare occurrence.
A mountain of treasure, huh? The guys throwing it away probably never thought in their wildest dreams that Rena would be grateful to them.
Mountain of treasure, meaning that damn construction site from before. Oh, right. Mion would probably tell me. That murder by dismemberment that seemed to have happened there. Over there, you know, at that damn construction site. Something happened there?
At the damn construction site.
Exactly. Long ago.
Something sure did. A grand battle. There were sit-ins and demonstrations.
It's a bit different from what I wanted to hear, but I decided I'd listen just the same.
It was our land that was going to be sunken in the damn reservoir. The damn reservoir!
Exactly.
I would have fought as well, probably.
Government guys were really adamant about it.
Oh, acting all big and full of themselves.
Oh, what?
I wasn't expecting, yeah.
That's just very weird punctuation.
Yeah, right? Acting all big and full of themselves. Since they figured out that they couldn't settle it with money, they did a bunch of nasty stuff. They were nasty guys.
Mion spoke excitedly as if the whole thing was happening right in front of her. I'm amazed you guys won. You were facing the federal government, right?
The mayor and prominent figures in the village all signed petitions. They went to Tokyo and struck deals with legislators, and as a result, the development plan was retracted. It was our complete victory.
There wasn't any violence, was there? Like assaults or murders?
None.
She promptly cut me off.
Hey, Zagger, how's it going?
Same as Rena had. Her words signaled the end of discussion. Tomitake said one arm wasn't found in the incident. I thought that a murder by dismemberment had occurred, but I guess I was wrong. My curiosity unsated, I sighed dejectedly inside.
Later. See you tomorrow. Kei-chan, you can't wash that off until you get home, got it?
I got it. I won't. Mion held back her laughter while stealing glances at my face. I wonder what kind of nasty doodles they drew.
Oh, he still doesn't know? Oh,
He doesn't know.
Damn you, Mion! You shall rue this day! If our roles are ever reversed, I'm going to soul
No! Phrasing! Oh!
all over your face so you won't be able to take it off.
Phrasing!
Even with a scouring pad.
Phrasing!
Upon arriving home, I ran straight into my mom, embarrassing myself once again. The mood I'd come home to was already on edge. It's not an uncommon thing in our family. Whenever Dad can't come up with a good idea, it always ends up like this. He stomps around the house with his arms crossed.
So we suddenly play Layers of Fear.
Mom whispered it.
Oh, wait, that's me.
Yep.
That's right. Welcome home, Keiichi. Dad, he's in a bit of a rut right now, so don't bother him, okay?
You can't come up with a new idea?
It's because the deadlines are so close together this time. Your dad needs time to recharge, or he doesn't work as well.
Dad's paintings feed our entire family. If he runs out of ideas, then it's the end of the Maibaras. We've never gone hungry before. Could it be that my dad is a master painter?
He is Bob Ross.
It's Bob Ross.
Clearly.
Of course he is.
Wouldn't it be easier to get an idea walking around outside rather than wandering around the house? I don't know what I just words there, but it was not what the thing said.
Oh.
The theme of this
piece. I'm sorry.
The theme of this piece this time is in the household. David, we need lines too, David. It's not just you.
I know. I'm sorry.
So see if your dad wants to use this house as a motif.
It's quite a bothersome motif. You can narrate. You can be Keiichi if you want.
Who wants to be Keiichi? He's a loser.
He
is a loser. That's why I keep trying to.
He's a loser and he whips it out.
Hey now, just because he whips it out does not make him a loser.
No, other reasons make him a loser. He just also whips it out.
That is accurate.
I feel like that's the dad. I think Bob Ross is here, guys.
Oh, Keiichi, pick up your room. It looks terrible.
Sorry, I'll clean it up later. Come on, please don't use my room as the motif.
Keiichi, there's still some time before dinner, so please go take a walk out back or something. With your face painting.
His bad mood is only temporary. As soon as he gets an idea, his mood improves and he starts humming. Till then, it wouldn't be a bad idea to just go take a walk so that I don't aggravate him further. Well, I guess I will then. So I was going to take a walk, but I didn't have any particular destination in mind. I just needed to kill some time. I got on my bike and pondered where to go. I could just go read at the bookstore, but it would take an hour by bike to get to town. It'd be dark by the time I got back, so I didn't want to go unless I had to. Roads here at night here in Hinamizawa creep me out.
Understandable.
Mion or Satoko ever found out about that. I smiled wryly. Oh yeah, Reno was probably still at the Mountain of Treasure. The desert construction site.
That damn construction site. We always have to say like that damn construction site. Just it's gotta be like that.
Damn construction site.
Remember when we had like the purple
construction site.
when we had like the purple words in Danganronpa and we had to be really dramatic about them? They're like the damn construction site.
Oh yeah. The excavation of Colonel Sanders was probably taking her a while. You should go back and see if you can meet Hot Photographer again.
Yeah, right.
I know I didn't get to meet him really.
Wouldn't be so bad to have her owe me one. She might return the favor next time we have club activities.
Oh, he's a creeper just talking to himself again. Oh, not another.
This is much less creepy than Makoto does, at
That's
least.
true.
But it's also in the beginning.
With a little bit of self-interest in mind, I set off towards that damn construction site. Hot Photographer might be there as well. The only person with information about the incident that both Rena and Mion denied knowing anything about. If I met him again, I'd like to ask for more details.
Why are you so obsessed about this incident?
You were joking,
'Cause
and then
people are
somebody
being
made it
weird
real.
about it. Yeah. If I met him again, I'd like to ask for more details. Perhaps was there really a dismemberment here in Hinamizawa? That was my real intention.
Back to the garbage.
Garbage montage! I spotted Rena struggling up on the slope of the garbage pile. Looked like Colonel Sanders was lodged in there pretty firmly. Didn't look like Rena would be able to excavate him by herself. Realizing that Tomatake wasn't around, I began climbing up the slope unsteadily. Hey, Rena. Looks like you're working up a sweat.
Whoa, Keiichi-kun! What brings you to a place like this?
A place like this, huh? Let me see. She was aware of it, at least. I received a signal for emergency assistance at the accident site. Where is the injured party?
Huh? Accident? Huh?
But there was a report Colonel Sanders was buried alive in the trash pile.
Huh? Oh. That. You scared me.
Oh, thanks for the host, Raikon. How you going? How are you going? How are you doing? It's that time of the night.
How's it going?
How it hanging?
How go?
Don't frighten me like that, Keiichi-kun. Hi, Raikon.
Waking up
Hello.
from sleeping? Really? Oh, wow.
Ooh, nice.
I was just kidding. Thought you might be struggling by yourself, so I came to help you out.
Eh? You came? For me? How?
Well, I filled my quota for today. If I don't see Rena blush at least once a day, then I'm not getting my daily required nutritional intake.
Some interesting nutrients you have there.
Just kidding. You're embarrassing me now.
So, huh? What part was the joke? What part was it?
I just ignored her bewilderment. Okay, now move out of the way. So where is Colonel Sanders?
Ah, sorry. Can't you see him? In that gap?
He's really buried in there. Colonel Sanders was sideways, surrounded by boards and other construction materials, like they were caging him inside. According to Rena, it wasn't like this yesterday. Seems as though another illegal dumper came yesterday, dumped again, and now he's buried like this.
Jeez.
Trying to move this pile all by yourself? With those scrawny arms? There's no way she would be able to do that with her slender arms.
But Colonel Sanders, so cute. There's a chain on Colonel Sanders at the store. This one's I should be able to take this one home. How?
Implying that if there wasn't a chain, she'd just steal the one from
She'd
the
just
local
steal it.
KFC.
Oh, Rena, never change.
Wow.
Brenna gave up on this Colonel Xander. She'll probably start devising a plan to steal the one in front of the store. As Renna's guardian, I won't allow her to sully her
What?
hands with crime.
Crime.
Out of the way. I'll do it. Renna blushed again, but this time I left it alone. The pile was enormous. Also, the more days we wasted, the more likely another illegal dumping would occur. If it got buried any deeper, there would be nothing that could be done.
Keiichi-kun, I'll help too. Let me help.
You just get in the way, so stay back. Pulling out scraps, bending them, tossing them aside, I quickly became covered in sweat and dust.
They better show a picture of this fucking Colonel Sanders, even though I know they can't because probably copyright.
Probably. Flying objects drew beautiful arcs across the twilight sky, one after another.
I heard toilet sky, I was confused.
We better get something. Lumber, timber, plywood. Damn it! No matter how much I threw out, there was still more. Even though I could see Colonel Sanders right there. After grandstanding like that in front of Rena, I felt frantic because of how little I had progressed. I'm gonna do this seriously. I'd need an axe or saw or something.
That's enough, Keiichi-kun. You're so sweaty. You don't have to try so hard.
I'm just doing it for you, Rena. Don't worry about it. Rena began sputtering and turned beet red. Whoops. I meant to say I was trying my best so as to keep her from becoming a criminal. Oh, well. Man. You need to
Damn it,
choose.
Casey.
Lots of key words out of there.
Yeah. I guess I just need a break. This is pretty tough. I sprawled on my back over the grassy slope.
I'm so sorry. You're covered in sweat.
Pretty nice.
You suddenly sound like you're in like a underwater or something like that.
Well, wait here a minute, okay? My house is pretty close. I'll bring you some barley tea, okay?
Leaving the handkerchief on my forehead, Rana took off running. Better?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. The cries of the Higurashi gently cooled the air. After I was certain that Rena was gone, I picked myself up and headed towards what I'd discovered earlier. That was a garbage pile of magazines and newspapers bound up in twine.
No.
Unless I'm
no.
mistaken, I believe it was around here. There it was. They were bound stacks of not-so-reputable tabloids. They were stacked chronologically, going back quite a few years. It was quite a disturbing incident. It seems they haven't been able to find one of the arms, you see. If it was just as Tomitake said, then undoubtedly there would be mention of the murder. These are troubled times. There's no end to these sickening incidents. There's a large part of society drawn in by these incidents as well. So it had to be recorded. Somewhere. I unfastened the packages and opened the rain-soaked pages carefully, looking over the table of contents. Not here. Next one. Not here. Next one. It's hard to search since I didn't know when it happened. I didn't know who the perpetrator or the victim was either. I only knew it had happened here. I looked up every so often, checking to see if Reno had come back or not. I wouldn't want her to see me gawking at a dirty magazine, but it wasn't just that.
Once again, a reminder, anyone coming in later, this is set in 1983.
Both Rena and Mion said they didn't know. But it had happened, without a doubt. As long as Tomitake wasn't lying. And if both Rena and Mion... Ah, yeah, there was. If they had just said that, then I wouldn't have gotten so hung up on it. An incident that neither Rena nor Mion wished to talk about. Trying to uncover it after they tried to conceal it out of good intentions. It made me feel like I was acting against my friends. Well, that is some unsettling music.
Very unsettling.
Hinamizawa dam worker lynching. Murder by dismemberment. Here it is. Featured article was in the back, and it seemed like that there was a photograph in the colored pages at the front. Pages of the feature article were stuck together and weren't easy to open. Meant I could return at any moment. Feeling rushed, I gave up and opened the photograph page. Police investigators were carrying a body bag, and newspaper reporters were all bathing it in camera flashes. The image was blurry and hard to understand, but I could definitely make out the headlines. A tragic nightmare at the Hinamizawa construction site. Lynching and murder dismemberment. The victim was the site foreman. He had assaulted his assailants daily with an explosive backlash from his daily actions. It's a horrible image to see the site foreman as it happened. It really did happen. Seemed the details were on the next page. I turned the page without pausing. On it was... The assailants butchered the victim's body with hatchets and pickaxes, then used an axe to split the cadaver into 6 pieces. The head, arms, legs, and torso. I could understand just from the headline that it was just too terrible an incident. Normally a lynching is just assault and murder, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dismemberment with hatchets and pickaxes? That wasn't a lynching. A merciless killing to the letter, a brutal murder done by a group of people with hatchets, with pickaxes, with an axe. Ah! Oh, is that Rena? No.
Oh no, I think that's the next one's Rena.
No.
Oh, okay.
Eek! Sorry. Did I stall you? Did I stall you?
Rena dropped the axe she was holding onto the ground after being startled by my voice.
Keiichi-kun, you see, earlier, yeah, you said it would be help. You said it would help if you had an axe, didn't you? So then I brought an axe for you from the shed.
Rena fluttered her arms in a panic, continuing to explain and apologize. It seemed I'd been glaring at her pretty intensely. I'm sorry. I guess my reaction was a bit overboard.
No, I'm sorry as well. I'm sorry.
Night was drawing close. I was pretty worn out, and it wouldn't hurt to do the rest tomorrow. Doesn't look like we can break that last beam without an axe. You brought it after all. I'll have to borrow it tomorrow. All right?
Okay.
Why do you look so glum? Tomorrow we'll be digging out Colonel Sanders, right?
You're right. I really want to take Colonel Sanders home soon.
We both knew it was useless to apologize any more than that. I quenched my thirst with the barley tea Rena brought and wiped off the sweat that had now gone cold. We took the path to head home. I felt quite guilty about the tabloid wrapped up in my jacket.
Higurashi, when they cry.
Dun, dun, dun.
We unlock tips.
Do-do-do-do.
Yeah!
Look at these fun ones.
Tips! Just the tips. Oh,
Ooh, another
achievement
achievement.
unlocked. One man's trash. How?
Alright, I'm gonna go refill on stuff and
Yep. Do the
you
thing.
can take over for me.
October 1975. In accordance with the Prime Minister's Bulletin Number X, Hinamizawa's electrical development master plan was announced. The vast scope of the projected Hinamizawa Dam will have an incredibly heavy impact on the village of Hinamizawa. The flooded area caused by the Hinamizawa Dam would include the 5 areas of Hinamizawa, Takatsudo, Kiyotsuku, Matsumoto, and Yagochi. The submerged area includes 291 houses. Population 1,251. 1 elementary school, 1 middle school, 1 post office, 1 agricultural cooperative, 1 forestry apartment lumberyard, 5 shrines, 2 temples, and 1 fishery. Damn.
That is a lot of things that would be destroyed.
Yep. All these communal, cultural, agricultural areas and places of worship will be indefinitely submerged at the bottom of the artificial lake basin. Forsaking the hundreds of years our ancestors poured their blood and sweat into this fertile, resource-rich land is just too painful to bear. All the residents having homes that were to be submerged banded together and created the Onikakushi Defense Alliance. The dam project was halted and petitions to alter the plan were circulated. The citizens sought peaceful negotiations, but the government and its puppet company acts openly refused. Performing unspeakable, heinous acts, they quashed the democratic actions of the villagers. But the villagers did not falter. Instead, they banded together even more closely and steeled their resolve to protect their homes to the death.
Wow.
The continuation of that frightening Hinamizawa Dam construction project is still stalled out as of today. The villagers understand that the stalling was caused by sublime power through unity, and they understand that this fearsome plan had not yet been fully withdrawn. The Onikakushi Defense Alliance had been dissolved after it did its part, but the feelings of unity it garnered have not yet been extinguished. As long as that passion resides in the hearts of the residents, they'll be able to confront whomever next decides to sink their homes into a lake basin. Onikakushi Defense Alliance Committee Chairman, Kichiro Kimiyoshi. Tabloid report. Ooh. Da-da-da. Nightmare befalls the Hinamizawa Dam. Lynching and murder dismemberment. In X month of X day in X prefecture at the Hinamizawa Dam construction work site in Shishibone City, a bone-chillingly gruesome murder dismemberment. Even though this case has shocked the archipelago, the police will give no details on the case. Exactly what happened at the Hinamizawa Dam. They probably didn't mean to kill him at first, but as the victim resisted by swinging around a shovel, the rest of the perpetrators armed themselves in return, and it quickly escalated to homicide. So said the aforementioned investigator A. After this bloody tragedy was over, they were left with a body which nobody thought was alive. Exxon had tormented the suspects daily with his rough behavior. At first it was meant to be payback. All the perpetrators were horrified by their deed, and one even turned himself into the police. It was the de facto leader of this group, X, who suggested hiding the body. Reluctantly at first, they soon began to think they did not wish to be caught. The construction site had numerous places to hide the body with 6 people. They were originally supposed to hide the body and leave the area, but the de facto leader feared that the consciences of the other 5 wouldn't be able to bear the burden, and came up with a horrifying method to keep them from turning him into the police. He devised the heinous method of splitting up the body among them and making each of them responsible for hiding a piece. X had turned a simple manslaughter into a gruesome dismemberment and forcibly involved each perpetrator in order to create a sense of unity between them. Each one participated. But what does this mean? Person A spoke out reluctantly. X had ordered each and every one of them to dissect a piece for themselves. They were hesitant at first, but nobody refused. In for a penny and for a pound was what it meant. Thus, an unimaginably bloody ceremony began. The perpetrators wept and vomited as they performed the gruesome task. There was one person who stubbornly refused, but X threatened them, saying nothing would change if someone else ended up dead, and he gave up in his objections. But X's plan collapsed in the span of one night. X, who had refused to dissect the corpse up until the last moment, had broken down into tears at the hospital where he had been treated for an injury sustained during the scuffle and confessed. The criminals were arrested one after the other, but the de facto leader X's whereabouts are still unknown. Also, the right arm hidden by X has yet to be found. Despite an ongoing search, this horrible individual has so far managed to elude law enforcement. What could the police be doing? It appears that X had said he was going to throw the body right arm into the marsh. X's car was discovered abandoned near the marsh, but there were no clues to his whereabouts. X didn't trust his companions. One cannot deny the possibility that he had expected his companions to confess to the police and used his car as a decoy. Of course, I doubt that theory. Since he had no car, one would expect him to have a limited area to which he could have escaped to. But within the station, there were rumors going around that he had accidentally slipped and drowned in the marsh when he went to throw away the body. To the locals, that marsh is believed to be bottomless. It's known as Onikakushi, the Ogre's Abyss, and it's said that the bottom of the marsh is connected to the hellish world of demons. The atrocious demon from hell that was X. Could it be that he had returned to hell through the marsh? What? The cheese and dragon, bringer of luck and fortune! Prosperous future! Ladies leaving into your arms! Business success! Promotions! Ambition! Protection from harm! Not just with pachinko and horse races, but businesses and even love! Guaranteed or your money back. Zijin Dragon Bracelet DX, one piece. 27,800 yen. 27,800 yen. Ooh, that's a lot.
Not really.
I mean, it's pretty much for like
It was only $270 for probably a fancy bracelet.
It's probably not that fancy.
Probably not, but for, an ad, it's not too much.
I guess. It also just seems expensive for like inflation and time back in the 80s.
That's true. Back in the 80s, so that's probably worth more like $500 or $600 for us minimum.
Yeah, that's a lot of money for the 80s.
Hi, David.
It was acceptable in the 80s. It was acceptable at the time. Ooh. Well, I mean, we just finished this chapter and we finished those things. Should we call it a night?
Do you want to?
Depending on.
This isn't a bad time to call it a night.
Yeah, otherwise there would be like an entire new chapter.
Yeah, we
would have to go through the whole entire thing.
Yeah, we're like 2 or 3 chapters in. I know we're like 2 achievements.
3, didn't we?
This is the end of 2, I believe. Let me see. Let me save and load and see. Yeah. End of chapter 3. Yep.
End of chapter 3, yeah.
Yeah, not bad.
No, remember 2 was all about
yes.
hot photo and apple bunnies.
Apple bunnies. Yep, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it sounds like a good spot to end then. Whew. Made it through. And now we're just slowly getting into creepy town. We just need a little bit of setup. Now it's all downhill from here. So yeah, thank you for hanging out with us for a bit, chat. Hope you are enjoying. Hope well, it's definitely going to get creepier heading in. But we'll see how it goes. Thank you again, David. Thanks, Kayla.
Thank you for
great time.
Yeah. We'll see when the next time we can do this is. I guess don't know for sure. I'll post it to my I guess since we don't really have a set schedule for it, so I can't really put it in my schedule thing down below, but I will keep posted on my Twitter and whatnot and in the mains Discord to let people know next session. But otherwise, my next stream is tomorrow night for Wild Times and Wildmount. D&D is back. As we get to see Aiden's new sword. He finished his sword. It's a vestige, yes! So yeah. Until then, you all take care. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we will see you next time. Bye, everybody! Night, 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 night.
I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral dice holder. I'm proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral dice holder. I'm proud to be in whatever sitch, like singing on Twitch or playing D&D. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral dice holder. You may call me obsessive, but I just border on being a collector and being a dragon that sits atop my treasure. That's so shiny. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral dice holder. And my partners love me for it. I'm a natural 20 when it comes to being me. I'm a time traveler. dice order.